Come on.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white puffy material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn?
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all...
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, that was great. Oh,
Welcome to Tear Ranker Fight. It's a little intro that I kind of custom did for this episode. So, but yeah. So welcome to Tear Ranker Fight. So this is basically the show where we rank things on a tier ranker scale, which you'll see here in a minute, and we just rank them from best to worst, and then have a little debate. And I'm gonna go around. And I'm gonna introduce everyone on the panel tonight. So I'm gonna start with my usual co-host, Chris Scott, aka the Casablanca Kid. How's it going?
doing good, man. Dude, the intro was awesome. Especially for a show that I kind of like, totally kind of was like fanboy, because I've always loved kind of that opening. There's something about let's go to the movies, and then especially back when I was able to find it as a ringtone. So I now have it as a ringtone for my phone. So kind of a little fun. I just love going to the movies. It's fun.
Yeah, I definitely miss it.
Yeah.
Because like during this whole pandemic, most movie theaters haven't been open very much. I mean, they're starting to open a little bit, so that's good. But we have Scooter, which is my dad, who's joining us. How's it going?
How's it going? Good to be here.
Yeah. And then we have Aaron. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I didn't realize I was joining a show at production value. That was great. I was looking at the clip going, when did Matt Groening animate his intro? And then Homer showed up, and I was like,
yeah, there you go.
Yep. Because you can kind of see it just from the look of the little hot dog.
Oh, it was immediate. Like that's The Simpsons.
Yeah, right. And then we have Mark the Engine Nerd. How you doing?
Howdy.
Hey. So I'm just gonna just preface with a couple of things. We also have my mom who might join back in. She is on the road now driving. She was going to be on. She was in our pre screening room before we started, but she dropped out. So she might pop in. We'll see. But also too, I was just going to let you know that beforehand, I talked to Mark the Engine Nerd. He's only able to join us partially for the show. He said he might have to just drop out of the show like a striker in the night from Dora Explorer. So you might just see him randomly just vanish out of nowhere. So if that happens, that's what's going on.
That is not okay.
That is illegal. You cannot leave the show. That is a party foul, sir.
I have seen the show before where I'll be like, well, he's probably gonna wrap it up soon, and then I'll like open it up like 2 hours later, and it's like, Jordan and Chris are still talking. How's that possible?
Yeah, when we have a live prank, the show can go a little long, but this one's a little more manageable. I think we've got only 50 or even less than that. So versus the usual 100 things we're trying to rank.
50.
But, yeah, so we'll see. But I'm going to put up the rules for the show. Usually I have it a little more, we can read it more, so a little better, but I'll kind of read it to everybody. Let me get rid of this thing. But rules how it's going to work. It says, let's have a good, clean fight. Please do not talk or shout over each other. Please do be respectful of others' opinions. Each person will take turns to select a movie or usually we're ranking movies. This time we're ranking movie snacks. So you're gonna take turns choosing a movie snack for the ranking. The person who selected the snack will have 2 minutes to explain which tier they think it should go in and why. All other participants will then each have 1 minute to say why they agree or disagree and may suggest a new ranking. Then the host, which is me, will decide on a ranking that averages out everyone's opinions and after the proposed ranking is acceptable. And at that point, we can have a little debate and a little bit of back and forth. So we'll just kind of go from there. So I'm going to pull up our tier ranker chart here. Give me one quick second here.
These rules are important because of the tier ranker massacre that occurred 2 months ago when it got so out of hand we burned down a city. So
yeah, right.
I gotta abide by these rules.
Oh, that was you guys?
Yeah.
Don't tell
Okay,
anybody,
ugly.
okay?
It was fun though.
It was fun.
Yep.
It was.
So basically, I'm gonna kind of do a little slow scroll, and you can see all the snacks that we have here. If you have any questions, like maybe the picture looks a little blurry, you're not quite sure. Like we have one that's a little dark. Those are chicken tenders right there, or like little cinnamon bun bites and some churros. Those are mozzarella sticks, so just some corn dog bites. So those are some things to consider. But yeah, that's what we have. And usually, as the host, I always will go last, and I usually start. So I'm going to start how you guys appear on my screen. I don't know exactly how it looks for you guys, but and let's see. I'm looking at the comment section. Oh yeah. So Brian, he just says missed opportunity to add the Mr. Burns version of "Let's All Go to the Lobby." That's also from The Simpsons. They got that version too.
But Brian, hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm gonna start with Aaron, and basically how it's gonna work. You're gonna pick one, and then we'll just rank it. And then for people who haven't seen this before, S stands for superior, and then just so on and so forth. And then also, I'm only gonna allow 10 items in superior, so we can only have 10. So we gotta at the end of the show, we'll come up with the top 10. But if you were to pick one first, Aaron, what do you want to go for?
All right. I don't know. I feel like the normal approach is that somebody tries to take the best thing and argue for that first. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with a bit of a different route. I'm gonna go with the Almond Joy and just say that should immediately drop into F, because I feel like nobody eats Almond Joys on a regular basis. Who's eating them in a movie theater?
Right?
Like, I mean, I'm sure like there's one person out there who eats Almond Joys. Chris Face says he's the one person. But like I barely see them get picked up at the stores. If I ever look at one, I have to make sure it's not expired. Who's eating these at a movie theater?
Right.
I guess I get 2 minutes, so I'll cede my time so as not to hurt the feelings of Chris.
Yeah. We'll have up to 2 minutes, but yeah, you know.
Thank you.
Definitely go a little less, but we'll go to Mark. What do you think of the Almond Joy?
A lot of people hate Almond Joy. I don't quite understand the hate. It's not my favorite. It's not the worst. It's something I eat once in a while. I don't. When I go to a movie theater, I don't think, like I'll eat the Almond Joy. But I'll eat it occasionally. Coconut's great. Almonds are great. Too much sugar, so I'll put it a D. What do you think, Chris?
All right, Chris. Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
Well, we got Scooter's next.
Oh yeah. So,
Well,
Scooter, yeah. Well, not a word. Yeah. Scooter,
I do like Almond Joys, but I have to agree with you other guys. Not really movie food. I wouldn't turn one down. So I think D is fair. I hate to go F because I do like them, especially the expired ones.
right. But Chris, what do you think?
So now I'm on the spot. So thank you so much for at least letting the pain a little less
Subside.
Hey, Ron, I appreciate it. But I mean, I love myself a good old Almond Joy. It's one of my favorite candies. It's one of the one times where I can say my wife is wrong because she hates coconut. But I also actually kind of agree. I would not say it's like a movie theater snack for me. But with that being said, though, I really do like them. I would hate to see them fall as low as F. I would say it's probably a D for me as well.
Okay. And for me, so I hate almonds, but I love coconut. So usually the almond always ends up in the trash, or the one single almond, or on the ground somewhere, or just wherever, because I hate almonds. But
That's what
besides
mounds are
that,
for.
That's what mounds
That's
are
right.
for.
but the thing is, mounds are dark chocolate, and I can't stand dark chocolate, so I gotta have
fair
some
enough.
milk chocolate. So, but yeah, like I would probably say that's about a D for me. I mean, I think D kind of seems to be the consensus. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in D. There's potential to kind of shift things around a little bit as we move through it. Oh, and also I totally forgot. I'm gonna move the rules off of here. Still, we don't need those still up. There you go. but yeah. So it'll be Mark. It's your turn. What do you got?
I
we
like
have
cookie
coffee
dough
here.
bites.
Ooh,
Those
so good.
are. I'd put it as an S. I don't know. When I go to a movie theater, that's what I think of eating when it comes to a snack for some reason.
Really?
I like the cookie taste and the coating of chocolate. In fact, I was talking to my wife before this, and I said, "What kind of treat should they have in a movie theater?" And she said, "They should have cookies and milk." I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect. I'll have to try that. Sneak in some cookies and milk next time." But until then, got the cookie
That'd be
dough
awesome.
bites.
Awesome. Scooter, what do you think of the cookie dough bites?
For me, it's a little too non-traditional. I don't know if I would go for S on that. I would put it more as a B-ish. I like them, but S seems a little exclusive to me.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
So I agree with Mark. I love cookie dough bites. I think they're absolutely delicious. But with that being said, I'm kind of torn because I also agree 100% with Scooter that it's kind of like I kind of tend to go with the more like classic things like Snowcaps maybe or something like that. So for that reason, I definitely would move it down beneath A though. It's definitely an A tier. Yeah.
Okay. And for me, before I give my argument, I forgot that they wanted to mention that in honor of this episode, I actually wore the very last shirt that they gave me when I worked for AMC Theater. So I got my AMC, so they gave us a Knives Out shirt. Just wanted to point that out, which is kind of cool. But,
Such a good movie.
Yeah. So, but for the cookie dough bites, I actually not a huge fan. I don't really think that they really even taste really that much like cookie dough. They just kind of taste like, I don't know, like a bunch of weird chemicals put together for me. But but I mean, they're not horrible. I'd want to give them probably like a C. Is probably where I'd put it. But they do have some other varieties though. If you're going with like the mint ones or like some of the other, or like the peanut butter ones, they got those too. So I'd maybe go with that. But I mean, that's just me. But we can kind of average it out. But what do you think, Aaron?
So for me, when I finally got a chance to look at the full list, for my own personal taste, the S tier are the 10. Like if it's the top 10, it's the 10 things that I rotate in terms of gravitating to at a theater. Cookie dough bites is one of those, so I would put it in S.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Like, what would you actually eat at a movie theater? Like that's like kind of one of the go-to. So I mean, I would
eat them in a movie theater.
We could probably put it in S, I think, but maybe it'll be like low S.
I actually.
What do you think?
From that standpoint, yeah, it's one of my go-tos. If I'm going to the movie theater, it's absolutely a go-to for me.
Yeah, so
it
like
really
I think
is.
that like maybe like a low S. We'll probably rank some things maybe higher than that, one in
That's
particular
fine.
that I can think of, but we'll get to it. But so now it's Scooter's turn. What do you want to pick?
All right. I think we may get some debate on this one. One of my favorite things is Twizzlers, but I'm kind of a black licorice guy. I don't know if there's black licorice on there.
No,
but I'm just going to start that debate. Black licorice, the advantage of black licorice, you kind of share it with all the people around you through the aroma, as you chew. I know that's what my wife always appreciated was me blowing the black licorice her way, making her ill. But I like it. So that's one of my favorites.
They need to come out with a Twizzlers like black and red mix, like the red vines.
They should.
That's for me. The perfect is like a mix of both.
They do have the little nibs, I think.
Alternating.
They do
red
have nibs,
and black.
Yeah, I like nibs.
They are a mix, but
So,
what do you think?
Casablanca Kid, are you with me?
Yeah. I hate black licorice. Can't do it. It's
I figured.
one of the worst things.
So Scooter, before we
It's
move
right
on,
there with like Good and Plenty.
Sorry.
Okay, so
where you want to rank it?
yeah,
Sorry,
Scooter,
Chris,
you didn't say we could rank it.
Well, for me, I got to go ass, but I don't know if I'm going to get any love on this one.
Right,
So,
Chris.
I mean, are we talking about regular Twizzlers or are we talking about just black licorice, sir?
Twizzlers.
Probably a little of both. I would say, like, we can consider it. I think for the most part, we're mostly considering the regular Twizzlers, but you can take that a little bit into consideration. It might affect
Because
your.
they don't really sell the black Twizzlers at the movie theater anyway. You have to buy the Good and Plenty if you want that.
Yeah, or smuggle it in as we've been known to do.
Yep.
I don't like to talk about that, but
that's how Jordan got the idea. From you.
Oh yeah. But what do you think, Chris?
So, I mean, Twizzlers are good. I would definitely put them probably in. Yeah, I would put them in S tier for sure.
Nice.
Now, do you like Twizzlers more than Red Vines? Like, are you more of a Twizzler than Red Vines?
I'm definitely more of a red vine person over Twizzlers.
You gotta have that debate.
I think
Yeah.
I think the red vine have more flavor. I don't think they taste as artificial as a Twizzlers do. I think they're a little more sweet. I think they're a little more juicy. Red vines are. So between the two, I would put red vines probably in front of Twizzlers, but I definitely would not move Twizzlers ahead of cookie dough bites. So it's got to still stay behind cookie dough bites.
If you get a really fresh pack of Twizzlers, though, man, wow.
Yeah.
Red Vines would kick Twizzlers off of S into the A.
Oh, man.
Red Vines beats Twizzlers.
Maybe it's a generational thing.
Yeah. Well, for me, like, I think I would actually would agree. Like, I think that I probably like Twizzlers a little better. I used to go for Red Vines all the way, but over time I kind of skew a little more to Twizzlers. And actually, I actually love black licorice, so I might run in the family a little bit. But yeah, like, I just think, like, from all my movie theater experiences, I just have all these memories of just passing the bag of Twizzlers down a row of friends and family, like, hey, do you want some? You want some? You just pass it around, So for me, like, I would go S tier, but what do you say, Aaron?
All right, so I guess I'm the one that's going to be the opposite here.
I knew it.
So and again, obviously everyone has their own interpretation to it. A little bit of background on me, because this is the first time I've met a lot of you guys. I worked at one of the biggest AMCs in the country for 3 years and managed there for 10 months. When I managed there, one of my jobs was stock. So I literally know the candies in and out that they have there. So that's something I've dealt with a lot. I'm basing this solely off of what I've seen sold there, which is just the basic strawberry red vine and strawberry Twizzler. I'm not a huge fan of either, but I do think Twix Red Vines are better if we're just talking about those flavors. So taking other things I like about Twizzlers out of it, to me, the red ones are just really dry. Like the red-based Twizzlers are really dry and don't have a lot of flavor. I'd put them in like F or D, honestly. I would put them towards the bottom.
Oh wow! Well, Mark, what do you think?
Well, and another thing about Twizzlers is for some reason after I eat about 3 of them, my stomach starts churning. There's some like additive in there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like sawdust or something. It just turns me up. But the Red Vines, I can eat a few more and survive it.
The corn syrup, yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say A.
Maybe you're just getting old, Mark.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. After a few Twizzlers, I'm like, this is good. This is
like.
So we got a couple of votes for S. We got a couple of votes for even F, and at least one vote for F and D.
F and D.
So I kind of feel like maybe C. It might be a good average, but
maybe a little bit.
What do you think?
B.
I mean,
I think
even B, but you really like them, Mark, right?
Yeah, B or A.
I know you say they make you sick, but I mean, for the first couple, they're pretty solid, right? Yeah, but yeah, so maybe B. I think that B might be the best compromise here, but all right, Chris, you're up. You also have French fries. That one
Popcorn is one of the greatest things.
They even sell it at a theater, but I just want to point that out. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
While I eat, and then I get to relish in the joy of popcorn, and the greatest thing that was ever created by mankind, movie popcorn. I can go through about 5 or 6 tubs of this. Then I hate myself later, but it's delicious. It's heaven. Give me more of that fake, wonderful butter on there. Eagle Lux Theater has the best movie popcorn. Hands down, top of S tier, crushes everything. It's the best thing in the world.
So for me, like I'm not a huge popcorn fan. I actually don't even really like it. I just think that all the kernels get caught in my teeth and in my throat, and I always end up crunching on one of the unpopped kernels and like almost breaking a tooth when I get to the bottom. But when you think of like what movie theaters are actually known for, and like what's the first thing when you think of a movie theater snacks, I think the popcorn's always the number one thing. I mean, especially after working at a movie theater, like that's like pretty much how movie theaters survive. I mean, they just sell just like buckets and buckets and buckets of popcorn. So I mean, I think that it's S tier for that reason. But what do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, so again, putting it in the context of how I look at this, as somebody who worked in a movie theater for as long as I did, I hate popcorn. I hate the smell of it. I can't stand the taste of it. As somebody who did stock week after week, I'd lug 50 bags of pound or more popcorn back and forth throughout the building.
They're not light.
I hate everything about it, but
except for the profit margin.
Well, no, and I've seen, as somebody who's seen those spreadsheets, they make money. The one thing I can say, though, is when we're talking about that S tier, for me, like I said, my S tier is what I go to. Popcorn is the only thing I don't eat at a movie theater that deserves to be an S tier, because when you think movies, you think popcorn. I just think it's insane to think any other way. So definitely S tier.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Mark?
Popcorn is too salty, too dry. There's something needs to change for the 21st century in movie theater food, and I think that needs to be popcorn. And popcorn needs something to make it stand out. So by itself, I rank it lower. I rank it like a B. What it really needs is jalapenos on top, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, because Chris loves that, right? Got a couple experiences with that.
Yeah, it needs something on top. Like I love eating it with jalapenos. I love the the like fiery Cheetos popcorn, that would be an S.
It's actually on here.
Yeah, I saw that on there.
It's right there. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so it needs something else besides just salty, dry, fatty popcorn.
It's called butter.
For that,
I know you don't know what it is. Okay. Do you eat like granola bars and like dry protein bars?
Nachos are I eat that over popcorn.
How about Twizzlers on top?
Heart.
No. But I've had that.
It's dying inside.
Well, I'm 100% on board with Chris because it's the classic. It's the go-to for everybody. It seems like, you pass it around, you share it, you throw it all over the place. It's part of movies itself. But what do you think about the artificial butter, though? I think I prefer it without. Does everybody like the artificial butter?
I like the taste. I don't like how soaked in it becomes.
Yeah, I
also like caramel popcorn. That's an S too, but normal popcorn, nah.
So the movie theater I go to, sorry, I know we're trying to jump this around a little bit. The movie theater I go to has real butter. So I mean it's a step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Because I agree, that artificial butter is kind of like you eat a little bit, and you're like
Yeah.
Your stomach kind of like does a little dance, but then you can't stop eating it because it's basically like a liquid crack.
Right.
Well, it sounds like probably S tier. Like I would think, because I feel like more of us voted S, so I'm going to leave it there. I mean, there might be some room to move, maybe we'll see. But so for me, so I got to go with one of my favorite things in a movie theater, and that's an icy. So like I love ices. Like I usually, if I have the option, I usually get it over a soda. Like and especially when they have the white cherry icy. I think the white cherry icy is like leaps and bounds better than like any other kind. And also I don't really like Coke ices. I mean, some people do. I don't. I always get either white cherry or like or even just regular cherry. Like that's probably my go-to. And I would definitely put it S tier for sure. I wouldn't put it above popcorn because I think popcorn is too iconic, but I would put it above cookie dough bites for me. But what do you think, Aaron, about an icy?
I go A. I like ices, but especially as more and more theaters get the freestyle machines and you have that large selection of whatever you could possibly want you can drink, I think that overpowers the limited options that Slushie brings. They're still great, but not S for me. I'd say A.
Yeah. Mark, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I'd say A. If it was a Slurpee, it'd be an S, but since it's icy, A.
It's an important distinction.
For me, I actually like ices better than Slurpees, but that's just me. But what do you think, Scooter?
I'm not a huge fan. I prefer a soda to the icy myself. But so I would go B, but I'd be okay with A.
What do you think, Chris?
So, like you, man, I love ices. I share your passion for ices, man. I've known you for a long time. You've always gotten ices, man. It's like, there's something about being able to mix like flavors and get a little more creative that makes it even more delicious.
Yeah.
So I love ices. I absolutely think they belong on S tier behind popcorn, because I agree. So one of the things that I can get my wife to go to the movies, and she likes going to the movies well enough, but she'll especially go to the movies if a movie theater has ices, which I feel like more and more places have like the cheap like slush puppies, which are just gross. They're like the wannabe ices,
like the knockoff. Yeah,
right. The knockoff or the slushies you get from like Jackson's that nobody really wants.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or the off-brand. Apparently, Maverick has something called the Chiller. No.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna taste like regurgitated syrup sadness. So yes, ices are amazing.
Syrup and sadness. Yeah. But Yeah. Well, I think though, as much as it pains me to move it from S because like I'm always getting icy. I get ices like probably it's like not good for my health, but at least twice a month I get an icy just period. So, but I think more people said A, so I'm just gonna put it A for now, and I may move up. We'll see, but yeah. So we are back to Aaron.
Okay. All right. Do I want to go with something I like, or do I want to pull out something I hate again and see what the reaction is to it? Let me see. I'm thinking. All right. Here's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with something I like. I'm gonna go with the hot dog. I don't quite know if it's an S tier. It may fall into A for me. Just because movie theater prices make it so difficult to want to buy a hot dog for $7. But to me, hot dogs are one of the few quintessential snacks that I've seen at every type of theater that I go to. It's something that if it's within reason, I will always get. It's something that if I'm hungry, I gravitate towards. But like I said, I take a very realist and probably more serious approach to this than I should. So if we think about price, it's not always worth it. So I'd go A tier for hot dogs.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Mark? Well, a movie theater.
I've never bought a hot dog at a movie theater. It just doesn't look interesting to me. I don't know. It's like I don't know what it is. Like, you know, it depends on where you are. I think like if you're walking down the street in downtown, a hot dog looks more appetizing than it does on a screen at a movie theater. Then you make it more appetizing. I think jalapenos would help.
Right.
Put on I'll put on C.
Jalapenos on everything, huh?
Yep, even in your icy. But
That's what I was thinking.
what do you think, Scooter? Would you get a hot dog at a movie theater?
I haven't very often, but I have to admit I like the option of having something that seems like actual food rather than just snacks. And so I like that they're there, and I'm a fan of hot dogs when the rare times that I want one. And so putting it at A, that's okay with me.
All right. Chris, what do you think?
So I like hot dogs, but at the same time, I'm not apt to get a hot dog, for instance, at the movie theater. But I agree, I do like it as an option. One of the things that kind of surprised me going into this is seeing like chicken tenders and things like that. But maybe that's because I've never been to like an AMC theater that has like legit burgers, I guess, and other cool stuff like that. I'm just like that. That feels like a whole new like world.
They have that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, if it was chicken tenders, I'd be like top of S tier, behind popcorn. Okay, because it's chicken tenders. Because everyone knows how much I love chicken tenders. With that being said, though, hot dogs are awesome. I think they're delicious, especially a little bit of mustard, relish, ketchup.
Yeah.
You got to add it all in there.
Sauerkraut.
Yep.
No.
Yes, sauerkraut.
Back that off.
Yes.
No. Get rid of sauerkraut. Throw sauerkraut in the trash. We'll be okay.
Jalapenos. All right.
No.
Jalapenos.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Jalapeno on a stick.
Yep. But
I gotta go in A, buddy. That's where it is.
All right.
Good spot.
And for me, I can kind of see two sides of it. Like I had a friend who worked at a local theater that we have called the Majestic, and she said that they would literally take the unsold hot dogs and refrigerate them overnight, and then put them back on the rollers, and that really grossed me out to it. And it made me never want to get a movie theater hot dog, and so I was just like what the heck? And but I don't think that's really true of most places. I think that could even be like a health code violation, but
a little bit.
That is definitely a health code violation. You cooked and froze food again? No.
Yeah, right.
I hate penny pinching managers that do that kind of stuff.
Dude.
That's
Yep.
what I do with my hot dogs.
But for a fresh hot dog, like I actually think that it's a pretty solid option, and also too, there's those times where you're like kind of running late for to go see a movie. The movie's about to start, but you haven't had lunch or dinner yet, and so you're like, well, like I'm kind of at the mercy of whatever they're gonna have here. I haven't really eaten anything, but I'm pretty hungry, and I don't really want to sit through a 2-hour movie without really eating something solid. So I think that a hot dog is a pretty solid go-to. So I can see it for that. So I think A is probably a perfect spot for it. So I think so. I kind of feel like we're like most of us are in agreement. I think Mark said a little lower, but I think A, like that was pretty much the consensus. So I think I'll just leave it at A. So I think that's a solid spot. So what do you got, Mark? You want to pick one?
Let's see. I already talked about nachos and Cheetos popcorn, so I'll go to another one. Let's see. Go with M&M's. M&M's
regular
peanuts.
Okay. Peanut M&M's, nice.
It's always a hard choice. Like which M&M's do I buy today? But M&M's peanuts, it provides the wholesome peanut covered in a chocolatey, crunchy shell, and so you get a little bit of wholesomeness mixed with chocolate, and so it's good, delicious, and it takes a little longer to go through the bag than just plain M&M's, so you get to enjoy it longer. So I rank it as a S.
Mm.
An S, all right. What do you think, Scooter?
I agree 100%. I was going to pick peanut M&Ms, and so nothing Mark said is wrong. He's 100% correct. You know, you got your nuts, you got your chocolate, and you got your other kind of candy all wrapped up into one. It's like one of the perfect snack foods, in my opinion. So S all the way for me.
What do you think, Chris?
So I gotta say, I'm probably gonna maybe be in the odd man out here, but I've never really liked peanut M&Ms. Like my mom always had them in the house, and it's like as a kid, like, okay, they're here, I guess I'll eat them. You eat like maybe like 3 or 4, and you're like, oh. But then you try to eat a bowl of them, and you just like, these are just gross, and they just kind of mold together in your mouth, and it's just sad. They really belong in like
one at
C.
a time.
I want to put them in D actually, because they belong in front of Almond Joy as the worst.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, Chris.
All right.
We're gonna have words in the Albertsons parking lot.
All right, what's your address?
Yeah.
I'm coming over.
Yeah. Right. So for me, like, I do like peanut M&Ms better than regular M&Ms. I mean, I would more so. I tend to go with the peanut butter M&Ms. Those are my favorite ones. But like,
that's cheating.
But I do really like the like peanuts. Like I'm a big fan of peanuts. If they sold peanuts at a theater, I would probably buy them, honestly, if they just sold plain peanuts. But I mean, and to kind of bring it up a notch with some chocolate and some candy coating, you know, so, like I think that it's a pretty solid choice. But at the same time, I'm not even a huge M&M fan in general. But I would probably rank it a solid A. I think that's where I would want to put it. But what do you think? Oh, A. I would put it probably at the bottom of A. What do you
Bottom
think
of A. I think Aaron's going to have to be the tiebreaker here.
Okay, so I will preface this by saying I love M&Ms. I agree that they are the quintessential movie snack, and for me, they're also like one of the quintessential ones. For me, they're also close that it is really a pick'em, but if it's my preference, peanuts the third of 3 that I'd pick, I'd go for one of the other 2 beforehand. So for me, I'd say I don't quite go for S tier because I'd put one of the other two up there, but I'd say probably A or B would work for me, at least personally.
Well, I think that
great, but
we got 2A, we got 2 S's, and then we got a D. So I kind of feel like A is probably about the best choice. I think that kind of averages it out, right?
Chris,
Could you say behind Twizzlers?
Did you say D, Chris? You put it in a D? I thought you said B. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to talk to your manager at Albertsons.
Right? Like I had horrible service. I need to talk to you about this. Fill out a survey. You're like, this guy.
He's got to go.
He had words with me.
Yeah.
He called me fat because I was buying Oreos.
He was offensive.
He's gonna randomly show up at your work with a giant bag of peanut M&Ms and like leave it in your locker or something. Right?
He lives in my work.
Right. Yeah, he's there so often. But so Scooter, you wanna? Oh wait, no, you just.
Yeah, I just missed the M&Ms, so that's a shame. But I'll have the one thing I always get is a soda, so a Diet Coke. So I got to go with that.
Soda. So for soda, I just kind of like lumped it all into one category, just so we didn't have it way too many options. But yeah, you
could put every brand on there.
For me, that's got to be S because you need it with all these other things.
You do.
I guess you could have an icy, but for me, the icy with popcorn doesn't quite get it done, but the soda always gets it done. With the popcorn, with a hot dog, whatever you got, the soda makes it work. So for me, it's an essential.
Well, so would you put it above popcorn, do you think? Would that be like your...
No, not above popcorn, but next to popcorn.
Okay.
Just like it is on your seat?
Yep. But what do you think, Chris?
I think it's a perfect spot for it, man, because popcorn is the top, and then you need a tasty beverage to wash it down.
Yep. Right.
And if you get a Diet Coke, then it cancels out all the other calories and the other things. So it's
yeah, exactly. Even though Diet Coke tastes sad.
It's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, like I would probably put it there. I think that's a solid choice. I would even maybe put it at the very top of S. Like I would get it over popcorn, just because, like especially like as an employee when I worked at the movie theater, we got access to free popcorn and soda, and I literally didn't eat any popcorn at all. Like for the first month and a half that I worked there, I had zero popcorn, but I always had soda like every single day while I was there. So, but I think that's a solid spot. I mean, I'd be happy with that. But what do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, well, obviously, I have a bit of a different experience being because I live in Orlando next to a Disney and Universal. Right. So all the theaters down here are much grander in scale than like smaller areas that you guys seem to be from. So I'm definitely seeing that I have a different experience with theaters. But when it's all encompassed like that in DeSoto, it is the universal thing. And like for me, pretty much every theater down here has freestyle machines at this point, and there's so many options within those that it's reached a point where I have a soda pairing for whatever I get. So if I have a certain snack or a certain food, I know what I like to drink with that. And so because of that, soda is the quintessential thing to get. You can get anything at a movie theater, you're probably going to get a soda with it.
Sir, may I interest you in popcorn with a delightful touch of Diet Coke?
I will say,
wonderful pairing.
Diet Coke with a hint of cherry in it, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. Wow, I like that.
Has a taste of cherry wood and roses.
Yeah.
Cherry wood and grapes.
A little bit of cherry blossom.
Cherry blossom.
This is our pairing expert, Marcus.
Yes.
Yeah, funny enough, like I'm a huge fan of the YouTube show Good Mythical Morning. Actually, this morning they're pairing sodas with different cheeses. So they're like trying to see which soda pairs.
Yeah.
pairs well with
Go.
I like it.
She just,
I like it.
yeah, so you should check that out. It's pretty funny. But yeah, where'd you put it, Mark?
Yeah, I agree with S after popcorn, because you first should buy the popcorn and then you're like, oh crap, now my mouth is like the Sahara and I have to fill it with some pop.
It's gonna be
So
stuck with salt. Yeah.
in Florida it's soda, in Idaho it's pop.
Yeah.
So I'll clear
Right.
that up.
But I do gotta ask you guys, what do you guys think of the Coke Freestyle machine? You think the soda it tastes kind of more like a chemical when it comes out of those machines? Like I just feel like that they kind of mix it different with, and then like it doesn't taste as good as like having it out of a can or a bottle. I feel like it just tastes like a chemical.
And
You guys think that?
Part of that is because it's mixed on site. So like when you're drinking it out of something that's like other types of soda machines or out of a bottle or a can, obviously it's all pre-mixed and then they carbonate it. Whereas with the freestyles, like let's just say for example, if you get a cherry vanilla Coke, you're getting the fructose, the Coke flavoring, the cherry flavoring, the vanilla flavoring, and the carbonation all mixed in at once. So I think it automatically would create a bit of a different effect. It doesn't taste any worse to me personally, but I can see if you love soda from one means, I could see where it would throw you off because it does taste slightly different. Also,
Yeah, and the funny thing.
Well, no, I was going to say, one of the things I learned over the years, just a fun little tip for anyone who doesn't know, if you're wondering why when you get soda, like a Coke or a Sprite with a flavoring in it, the soda may taste a little more off than normal Coke. To save on calories and sugar, they actually mix in the diet or zero version of the soda with the flavoring because the flavoring makes up for the calories and the sweetness. So when you get Coke, when you get cherry Coke, you're actually getting zero with cherry in it, and if you get cherry Coke Zero, like from the Zero soda, they're just dispensing less of the syrup into it.
Oh, wow! I did not know that. Okay,
interesting.
Man, you are a good person to have on this episode.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, I've done this a lot.
Yeah, but funny enough too that let's say Good Mythical Morning episode, they actually at the beginning of it, they like tasted all the different sodas and they tried to guess which one came from a can, which one came from a bottle, which one came from the tap, and then some had plastic bottles, some had glass bottles, and so they like do a little guessing game, which is kind of interesting because they all taste actually a little bit different, so kind of interesting. But so I guess it's on me now. So I'm gonna go with. So I want to go with one of my worst picks on this whole thing. The thing that I cannot stand, and that's Snowcaps. I absolutely hate Snowcaps. Like they're just like chocolate chips with like white sprinkles on it that I could just really like have a better version at home without the sprinkles because I'm not even like a huge sprinkles person, and like I think that they're completely nasty. I'd put it probably at the very like F tier. Like I think they're disgusting. I would never buy them. I would never eat them. You can force me to eat them. You can like pin me down and like try and force me to be like a form of torture for me. So, but that's just me. But so yeah, I'd put it F. But what do you think, Aaron?
So is that what Snowcaps are? They're just chocolate chips with sprinkles?
That's what I feel like they are.
I don't think so. No, they're not. They're not just chocolate chips with sprinkles.
So full disclosure, I've actually never had them. I honestly do not know what they are. I know over the years when I worked at the theater, many people asked me if we sold them, and I said no, because we did not sell them there. So as someone who's never had them, I feel like F is too mean, so I'd say D, just because I don't know a lot of theaters that sell them.
Okay, so hey.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is the answer.
Cool,
this is Wikipedia, which, yes, I know it's not really a source, okay?
If
just
anybody's
reference
fucking with the Snowcaps page.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right.
Snowcaps is a brand of candy consisting of small pieces of semi-sweet chocolate covered with white non-parbles, so chips. The candy was introduced in the late 1920s by the Bernthal Chocolate Company. Ward Foods acquired Bernthal in 1969. brand was later purchased by Chicago-based Turson Company in 1981. I know that's what you really wanted to know.
So it's like a not
Right.
completely covered M&M, basically.
Yeah,
No.
but semi-sweet. With semi-sweet chocolate, which is absolutely disgusting.
No.
I hate dark chocolate. I hate semi-sweet chocolate. I can't stand it. I think it's just bitter and gross, and
I
it
might
just
actually like
belongs.
these if I tried them.
Just belongs in the F tier.
They're
but,
delicious.
but let's see what you guys think. Mark, what do you think? It's Snowcaps.
I should eat them more often. They're not my favorite. I would rather have them be wrapped in a M&M shell as like a dark M&Ms. But when I've tried them, I've liked them. So, and I'm a dark chocolate fan myself. So I'll give it a C. Maybe even a
All right.
B.
All right, Scooter, what do you think?
It's starting to bother me that I'm agreeing with Mark so much, but I agree.
Yeah.
I'd probably keep it at C though, and not go so far as B. I think they're okay, but not great.
Yeah. Well, what do you think,
So-
Chris? It sounds like you really like them.
So I'm the one that asked. I was like, "Hey, Jordan, we got to add this item to the list." I've always loved Snowcaps. I think they're delicious. And I don't know what Nerf Pearls are exactly, but they're kind of like a sweet kind of coating or like a little sprinkle, as you said. Not quite
Yeah.
a sprinkle, but
Maybe they're harder.
they kind of balance out the kind of tartness or kind of the somewhat bitterness of, I think, the semi-sweet chocolate. And they make it just a perfect deliciousness. For that reason, if we're not going to put them in S, then they have to be in A. And I'm okay with putting them then behind peanut M&Ms since I'm the odd man out that actually doesn't like those things.
Well, I mean, I think to kind of average it out, I think maybe probably C sounds about.
I was gonna say
About
this
right
is
to
the only
me.
one so far. We've had an F, a D, a C, an A, and a B.
Yeah, right. Yep, exactly. So that's pretty good, but I'd say C's about right. So, but we might be able to move it up based on some other options. But so what do you think, Aaron? It's your turn.
All right, so before I go, I also went to Wikipedia. Non-perles, or however you pronounce that, are a decorative confectionery made of tiny balls of sugar and starch.
No.
Okay.
There you go.
Good to
So-
know.
So it's just straight sugar.
Right.
All right, so let me.
Somebody's got to rank water sometime.
What
I
are,
just did that for fun.
Water.
Because they always sell it. Like seriously, when I
F?
went to the movie theater, that might have been our number one seller, which is a bottle of water.
all right, I'm gonna go for another one that, like, again, maybe it's just theaters down here since I'm in a completely different zonal area to you guys, but I've never seen Juji fruits sold at a theater either, and quite frankly, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think there are better gummies out there for me. If I'm remembering these correctly, I think they're a little stiff for a gummy.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's better tasting gummies out there. I'd put them in F.
Well, I should have added dots to this. I totally spaced dots, but
Or Mike
but,
and Mike. Oh yeah.
Mike and Ike's is on there, yeah.
Yeah.
but the Juji fruits are kind of like fruit shaped dots almost. But what do you think, Mark? You say F?
F. It always strikes me odd, like certain candies, how they keep selling them. There's like enough of the population that likes them, they can continue selling it. It doesn't make sense to me. It like sticks to your teeth. That's the problem. They just stick to your teeth, and you have to like go visit the dentist afterward. And so, I'd rather save on dental bills and not eat it. So
Yeah.
F.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you in agreement against Scooter?
I agree. Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, I'm right there with him.
Yeah.
So,
We just need a replaying of what Mark says from now on.
Yeah.
No, I sometimes take some controversial picks.
Yeah.
Maybe my
But-
next one will separate us a little bit.
Yeah. But what do you think, Chris? You had Juju
So I've always kind of liked Juju fruit. Yes, I agree. They definitely do stick to your teeth a little bit. But I think they're still delicious. And I think they have a good flavor. I think they definitely belong. I'm not comfortable putting them as low as F because I don't think they're the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I lost audio.
Hello? I would want to put them at C. Behind Snowcaps.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I might have to switch to some other headphones, maybe. But you guys keep talking. I can't hear anything. I don't know if it's happening on your end also, but
We can hear you.
But yeah, I was gonna say I would put him in C behind Snowcaps.
We'll find out what Jordan thinks momentarily.
I've tried with Juju fruits. I've even tried like dissolving them in like I take like a bottle of Sprite and I like dip it in the Sprite and I'm like, can someone find a way to like break this up? So I put it in the Sprite. It does nothing. It sits there for days. It's still like rock hard. Stick it in the microwave. Microwave it. Still rock hard. Who made these things?
You're earning the engineered moniker.
Yeah. He's like, and then I put him under a laser that I built myself in my like shed.
Yeah.
I like
Honey, I
how
shrunk the
easily.
kids.
I like how easily you said you hate these, and yet you have desperately tried to make them work. Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you get it in your Halloween candy, and then you're like, "Oh, I gotta eat all of it, so I gotta find a way to eat these things."
All right. So now the question is, the dipping them in Sprite didn't work for the Juju fruits. How did the Sprite taste, though?
Yeah.
It didn't change.
Ribbit?
C.
The color might have changed a little.
Yes. You see, for me, I would rank them pretty low. I probably wouldn't go F. I'd probably go D. But I do bump them up one because of the Seinfeld episode where like Elaine has some kind of like medical emergency, but then she's dating some kind of doctor, and he's like, yeah, I heard you're in the hospital, but I stopped off for some Juju fruit. So like when she sees him, she's like, hey, what do you got there? Got some Juju fruits? He's like, so you heard that I was in the hospital. You stopped off for Juju fruit? What's the matter with you? Like, seriously. but for that one, like I would probably want to put it D, but when you say C, Chris, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe D might be the best compromise. I think definitely under Almond Joy.
I would have to put him in front of Almond Joy.
No, I'd put it behind it for sure.
Okay, we can meet there.
Yeah, I think that's good. So Mark, you get a pick.
Well, I'll go back to my Cheetos popcorn. I just love it.
All right.
Unfortunately, when you buy a large of that, it does not equal a large of a normal popcorn. They give you like a tiny little bag. So I'm just gonna start bringing my own Cheetos into the theater and just mixing them in. But that goes in S tier, very top, first place.
No, it cannot do
way.
I don't know about
No way.
Just everything popcorn ever needed.
Let him have
perfect marriage.
Seconds.
There's not even any
How does that even
jalapenos on that.
exist? No one's ever had that anywhere.
Edwards.
But it has a spice. Maybe
Edwards is dead.
Bring you, but
yeah, they need to open that up. Edwards is part of the Regal Theaters.
No, they filed
chain.
for bankruptcy. They're staying dead.
Well,
Like,
no,
they're-
Is that the argument? They filed for
Because of
bankruptcy.
that shit. Because of the Cheeto popcorn, they're like, nope, we're closing forever. Bye.
You're wrong.
it was the Cheeto popcorn that threw them out of business, right?
It was absolutely the Cheeto popcorn that drove them out of business.
But-
Everyone's like, okay, Cheetos and Popcorn? No.
Well,
Maybe
Have you tried
chocolate
it? You got to
popcorn?
try it out.
What do you think, Scooter? You ever had the Cheeto Puff?
Mark is dead to me now.
Oh, damn.
No,
That's not real.
I like it, but no, it's not above popcorn. It's not above any of those things on S. I would put it kind of a mid-range A, maybe.
Yeah. But what do you think, Chris?
I like Cheetos. They're okay. But after a little bit of Cheetos, it's like, I've had enough. You can kind of taste like regurgitated sad cheese that was like old and stale cheese. It's like feta cheese, and no one really likes feta cheese, okay?
Oh.
Not even real cheese.
Except the Greek.
For that reason, I would put
Have
it
you seen TikTok
behind
recently?
Juju.
The whole entire country.
Behind
Juju
Juju. Whew.
Really?
If I want to be popcorn, you shut down Edwards.
Well, for me, like
Guy.
I never really understand the whole flaming hot fad. It's like, let's make everything flaming hot now. We're gonna make flaming hot Doritos, flaming hot Fritos, flaming hot and like Frito Lay's. Pretty much anything you can think of, they're making it flaming hot. They got flaming hot macaroni and cheese now. And I even tried that, and I wasn't even that impressed. And I'm a huge mac and cheese guy. Like for people who know me, I eat it probably 3 or 4 times a week because I love mac and cheese that much. But I mean, but for the Cheetos thing, like I only had it one time, and I wasn't really that impressed. It tasted pretty artificial, and it's way too overly priced for the amount that you get. You only get a small amount, so I wasn't like. But like I didn't think that it was absolutely terrible though. Like I would actually. I mean, I'm not a huge popcorn fan, anyways, but like I would probably put it in B tier and probably below Twizzlers. That's where I would want to put it. But
if you put that in B, I'm out of here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm out of here anyway. But
what do you think, Aaron?
No, I'm changing my vote to. I think you had it right there, Jordan. I'm changing my vote to B behind.
All right,
Twizzlers,
that's
too.
it.
All right.
That's it.
All right. So again, as I have to base everything off of my own personal experiences with it, the concept isn't bad, and I guess maybe it's not the reason a whole theater chain went defunct, but I don't know how they handled it. As somebody who dealt with it firsthand at AMC, it sold so little that the Cheetos would often go stale, and we'd be chucking unopened cases away because they went past their Best By date. Like, they were so dedicated to making it work when they introduced it, and we'd chuck cases away every couple of months because they just would go out of date, and it's just like, who wants day-old Cheetos? Take them home. Like, we had no care for them. So, like, the concept's not bad if it's done well, but for me, I would probably put it in, like, C.
Okay. So I think probably like Mark, you say A, but the rest of us
S.
S. I'm sorry. Yeah, S. So I mean, but me and Scooter kind of have agreed on B. But what do you say, Chris? Like, you want it in low, right? You want it like
He
B.
said F.
F.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably
No. I actually said I would put it in D. Not quite at the bottom. I mean, I'm okay with putting it behind D, behind Juju Fruit, but I don't want it any higher.
Never.
Just because Mark, that was his pick. I'm going right to
Basically, yes.
B probably. I think that's
Maybe
fair.
behind Twizzlers.
That's it.
Behind Twizzlers.
That's it. I'm leaving.
Yeah, we could put it behind Twizzlers. Sorry.
Behind Twizzlers.
You would leave.
That's the twist of the knife in the back.
I won!
But so Scooter, it's your turn.
All right. I doubt everyone will agree with me on this one, but the only time I ever eat Raisinets is at the theater. And so they kind of have this connection with the theater for me. I don't eat them any other time. And I like them in the theater. So I would put them even up into the bottom of the A category. but they're chocolatey. Makes you feel like you're eating a little bit of fruit. Maybe if you stretch it. But there's a real fruit in there, so no, I like them.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
I actually agree with you 100%, Scooter. So my mom
nice.
always used to get Raisinets, and yeah, she used to get at the movie theater. So we'd kind of pass around Raisinets and eat them. But yeah, there's definitely you're eating fruit. Definitely.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
healthy for you.
Yeah, it makes you feel healthy.
Somewhat, yeah.
And that is a great spot for Raisinets.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I actually do kind of like Raisinets, and so I think that's actually a perfect spot for it. I'd probably leave them right where they're at. So yeah, that's my pick. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. They're one of the go-tos that I have for theaters. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark,
what do you think?
Come on, man.
If they were dark chocolate, I'd keep them A.
Oh, really?
However, since they're milk chocolate, B.
Okay. Well,
I thought it'd be a little more controversial, but
yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, we'll leave them right where they're at then. Yeah. So I guess we're on Chris now.
So one of my favorite, gosh, this is kind of trouble because I see a couple favorites, but definitely hot tamales. I've always loved hot tamales.
Ooh,
and they're a perfect go-to theater snack, and they're definitely an S tier, hands down.
The S tier, huh?
Behind cookie dough bites.
Okay, behind. So I think this one's going to be a little controversial because I hate hot tamales. They're absolutely disgusting. I don't really like. Well, I like cinnamon flavored things. I just don't like cinnamon in candy though. I think like any cinnamon it doesn't really pair well with really any candy to me. I just don't really care for them, and I think that they're just gross. They're like Mike and Ike's nasty, gross cousin that should just leave. Then nobody wants at the family reunion. Just get rid of them. But I mean, yeah, I just don't really ever eat them. I think I've had them maybe once or twice in my life, and I don't know if I'll ever have them again. But what do you think, Aaron?
If we're talking about the list of cinnamon flavored things that I like, shots of Fireball. That's about it. Not a big fan of hot tamales, and again, from my own personal experience, they're not something that's really sold in theaters down here, so it's kind of hard for me to relate. But only because I actually don't like them, I would say F.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I would agree. But what do you think, Scooter?
Yeah, for me, F's a little harsh. I don't mind them every once in a while. So I'd go a low C for me.
Okay. So, and Mark had to jump off. So, I mean, I think we're kind of a little all split here. So I just think probably even low C might have to be
low C is a good spot for him. Yeah.
The pick here. Yeah. I think so. All right, Aaron, you're up.
Isn't it you that's up?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
that's you.
I'm gonna skip myself here. Yeah. Let's see then. For me then, let's see. So for me, I want to go with one of the hot foods, and we're gonna go with pizza. So for pizza, so as a movie theater employee, pizzas were always annoying to make because we always had to cook them. They came kind of I don't know, they were pre-cooked and we just heated them up kind of thing. But we always had to put them in the oven for about 3 or 4 minutes. We have a lot of really annoyed customers because they had to sit there and wait for this pizza to be cooked, and the movie's about to start, so they're freaking out. Where's my pizza? Where's my pizza? We have to send them to the far end of the counter to wait for them, we help other people, and they kind of feel like they're being kind of shuffled off to the side. So that was always annoying. And I always feel like the pizza's never really great. Like you're not really going to get a very great pizza at a movie theater, but I don't think that they're completely disgusting or anything. Like I would get them from time to time. So for me, they're just average in the middle of the road. I'd put it at a high C for me. That's where I would put them. But what do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, C sounds right. Like you said, you worked at an AMC, so I can say, yeah, they like most of the hot food stuff there. They came in pretty much cooked, and it's just heating it up at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, like to me, AMC, especially because they switched from pizzas to flatbreads, and then they switched flatbread brands as well. So they've progressively gotten worse over the last few years.
Yeah.
But I've been to other theaters that have had like solid pizzas. So it's such a weird mix. It just depends on where you are. That I would say C's pretty average because you can get worse to the worst, or you can get some surprisingly solid pizzas.
Yeah, right. But what do you think, Scooter?
Well, my best pizza experience was when I smuggled in that full-size pizza from Godfather's, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, how do you smuggle in a whole pizza? Where do you stick that on you?
Fortunately, it was winter. You know, we ordered the pizza. It took forever to get to us, and so it was either leave the pizza at Godfather's or somehow figure out how to get it in the theater. So we asked for a box, and under the coat it went. So. But the problem is that you open the box and the aroma goes everywhere, right? So it's very conspicuous. So for that reason, yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's like you're sharing it with everybody. And so C works for me too.
Yeah, what do you think, Chris?
So I love pizza. Pizza is one of my favorite things, okay? But there's no way I would get pizza at a movie theater. I just wouldn't, because I figure it's probably just like a frozen pizza that they got from like maybe Safeway, and that's fine, but not even their best one. It's probably like something they was used, okay? And they just kind of found it, and they're like, okay, the pizza place they can have it. But at the same time, there's like it's not. I'm torn. I don't want to throw it at the very bottom because I love pizza, so that's the hard thing. I would have to put it in. I would have to put it in B, in front of those spicy popcorn.
Okay. I do gotta say, so I've actually worked for two separate movie theaters, and so I work for AMC, but I also work for I forget who owns the Village Theaters in Meridian now, but it was owned by this small town theater that's based out of California. That wasn't a real huge theater. That they probably have maybe like about 15 locations nationwide, or really, so not really a lot. And surprisingly, like they had some kind of interesting options, because the theater that I worked at, they actually had an upstairs where you could sit in a balcony, which is kind of cool. You could order a full meal. They served alcohol up there. They served all kinds of
dine-in, yeah.
Yeah, so like it was like a dine-in, and so they only served it in the upstairs because they had to keep the like 21 and older crowd kind of separated, kind of thing, but from the where the families are going to be. But they had some like pretty good hot foods, I felt like, but they didn't have very many. Like most of them, you had to go upstairs to get the real good stuff. But they had some pizza and some hot dogs, chicken tenders, that kind of stuff. And the pizza probably was a step above than what they had at AMC, I feel like. But still, I still think that like C is probably about right, and I kind of feel like that's pretty much what the consensus is. I mean, Chris said B, but even right below the Cheeto, so I think that's probably a decent spot. But let's see. So I guess it's Aaron. You're up.
Yes.
What do you got?
All right, so I'm gonna shoot for the unconventional pick because it's not something I've seen in a lot of theaters, which I know is something that I've kind of thought about when I'm ranking stuff. But I'm gonna go for the mini corn dogs. They're something that launched, I'm very sure, nationwide at AMC's late 2019, and they're one of the item menus that got temporarily dropped because of COVID, just with supplies. When they reopened, they were limiting the menus. They're not found all over at movie theaters. I know they're not a consistent snack, but as somebody who really likes corn dogs, I like having the option of mini corn dogs at a theater, so I'd honestly shoot it for like a C, just because I know it's not widely available, but I think they're a really solid snack that's hard to fuck up. So that's why I like having them as an option when I go.
Now, would you put it above pizza?
I'd put it below pizza, but above the candy.
Okay. All right, yeah, that sounds fair. What do you think, Scooter? Have you ever even had corn dogs at a movie theater?
I have never had corn dogs at a movie theater, but I have to admit it sounds pretty appealing. I think I would try them. And yeah, right there by pizza somewhere above or below, either one would be fine with me. Now that Mark's gone, we can move those nasty
Yes.
whatever.
Down to F.
What?
Please.
Oh, you mean the
Cheeto popcorn?
The Cheeto
Yes.
popcorn?
Yep. Buy Cheeto popcorn.
But no, I'm good with them where they are, but I actually would like to try them and give them a chance.
Yeah. And what do you think, Chris?
So I love corn dogs. I think corn dogs are delicious, and that just sounds like an amazing addition to a movie theater. So for that sole reason alone, I'd have to move it up to B, because I really wish more theaters had mini corn dogs. That sounds bomb. So they would have to go in front of Twizzlers.
In front of Twizzlers. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, Scooter real quick looking in the background. Sorry, I'm just trying to listen for the buzzing sound in the background. It got really loud for a minute, but anyways, for me, when it comes to corn dogs, I absolutely love corn dogs, and like probably out of any hot food, this might even be the first one on my list out of all the hot foods. So like I would even put it in the S tier. Like I'd put it probably just below soda. And I'd definitely put it above cookie dough bites for me, but that's just me. But so I'm just trying to think based on that average. You guys kind of ranked it C. Chris said B. I said S. So I mean, I'd even maybe put it like
A.
Probably
like
B.
at the top of B or even bottom of A. But I'd be all right with the top of B. I think that's about
Top
fair.
of B.
Yeah,
All right, fine.
I think that sounds pretty small.
I was gonna say, I don't know if this sells you more or less on it, but at least when I made them for people, it was served with either honey mustard or spicy brown mustard. So
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Either one, man.
that sounds pretty solid. Yeah, but for that one, maybe we should put it there. I'd be all right with that. You guys are good with that?
B. I'm good with B.
Yeah, I think
B.
I
Yeah.
feel
they're
like,
little
more people than not would look at it and go, "They sell those in theaters?" If they were an A.
Yeah,
right.
I think
Yeah,
you're right.
Everyone-
I think we like the idea of them a lot,
Yeah.
But I think B is a good level.
Yeah, they're not really widely known. But so Scooter, it's your turn. What do you want to pick?
I think I'm going to go with Junior Mints. My wife used to really, I'd never really liked Junior Mints, but she did a lot, and so we would get them at the movie theater, and I really learned to appreciate them. They're not one of my favorites or anything, so I'd put them maybe in the C range, but I thought they were solid.
Would you put them above a hot tamales or Snowcaps? Do you think?
Personally, I would like right there. But
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
So I've always loved hot tamales. They're one of my favorite candies. Definitely, and I think they're a great movie theater snack as well. For that reason, I would definitely put them in front of Twizzlers.
You mean for the Junior Mints? Yeah.
I think he meant Junior
Junior
Mints.
Oh,
I
okay.
yes.
Yeah. So Yeah, I think for me, like, so one thing that I forgot to that I mentioned, and I should have mentioned for the cookie dough bites, but we actually had some of the food actually frozen or like kept cold. So the junior mints are definitely a better when they're cold. So if you can get them like in the cooler or even the freezer, that kind of bumps them up a notch for me. And probably though I'm still not huge on it. Like I don't think I can put junior mints above a pizza. I just feel like so I'd probably put them in C tier just below pizza. But what do you think here?
Uh, B or C works. I'm not the biggest fan of junior mints in particular. But again, as I look at this from both a personal and a literal professional side, what I've seen, they are high sellers. So I know a lot of people do enjoy them. So that's why I could see the push for B. If corn dogs got in there on theory, then
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people we've been mixing with their popcorn too. It's kind of like one of those candies that kind of that will just mix right in. But
Yeah.
I kind of feel like C's probably a solid spot. I think about right there. A few of us kind of agreed on that one, so I think that's about right. So let's see. Whose turn was it? Was it Chris next? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're up.
So, let's see. Gosh, this is tough. There's so many good choices. I gotta go with original M&Ms for S tier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For S tier, huh? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think for S tier?
So they gotta definitely be in front of cookie dough bites for me. So I love cookie dough bites, but I could eat M&Ms like they're just amazing to me. They taste delicious. I think they're a good thing you can kind of eat throughout the movie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For me, like I think that I definitely like peanut M&Ms a little better, but I mean, and like I feel like we're kind of getting to it's a good point. Like every time that we pick something, we can kind of compare it to what's on the list. Like which would I want to have more? Would I rather have some Twizzlers or some Cheetos popcorn, like that kind of thing? So for me, based on that, I would have to put them in the C tier, at just below pizza, is where I would put them. But what do you think, Aaron?
Honestly, I'm in full agreement with the S, as I said with peanuts. For me, all three of them are in that SA tier. For me, regular original M&Ms are an example of how, to me, the original is always the best. But maybe outside of the coffee flavor, because I'm not a huge coffee fan, I don't think there's a bad M&M flavor. But I still love the original the best as a go-to, so I definitely put it in S.
Okay. What do you think, Scooter?
Yeah, I'm more with Jordan. I think C's a little low, but I would. To me, they're the third of the three for me. I do like peanut M&Ms better, and then peanut butter. But so I would put it in a low A probably. I do like them, but I'd probably put them in a low A.
Yeah, so I think probably based on that, like you got two votes for the S tier. So I kind of feel like maybe just drop it down to the bottom of S tier. I think that's probably
I would have to put them in front of peanut M&Ms if we're gonna do that, because we're kind of meeting halfway. Like obviously, me and
they're still on S. That's what he said.
They're still on S.
Oh, okay.
The bottom of S tier.
Okay.
I kind of thought that was a good compromise. So
yeah.
But yeah, so
I think at the end of the day, one of the M&Ms should at least be on S tier. We can debate that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I think that's probably fair. For me though, I gotta go with one that, like, for some reason I'm not a huge fan, but when I worked at a movie theater, they were a huge seller, so I gotta go with Milk Duds. Whatever reason, people just love to buy Milk Duds, and so we even had this lady that like freaked out really bad on it. So like I never really worked concession all that much. I always like being an usher more, so I always kind of would ask for those shifts. But this lady once like freaked out because we were all out of milk. That it was like a super busy week, so she like freaked out and like started banging on the counter. She's like, "How are you gonna run a movie theater if you ain't gonna have no milk duds? How are you not gonna have milk duds?" She like screamed at the lady and like started like cussing her out over freaking milk duds. And I'm like, come on, lady. So like it was always like this, and like ongoing joke that we would like go up to this girl and be like, yeah, how are you gonna run a successful theater if you aren't gonna have no milk duds? Come on. And so she's like, no, you're giving me flashbacks or whatever. But I mean, for me, I'm not huge on them because I've always had pretty sensitive teeth, and I feel like this is something that can really like ruin your teeth. Could like even pull them right out if you're not careful. So I mean, but I think that they're probably for me a little better than junior mint. So I'd probably put them in the C tier, just above junior mints. That's where you want to put them. What do you think, Aaron?
I personally do like milk duds. They're not one of the go-tos. I often eat them not in a theater setting because I find them, especially when you're eating them in the dark and they get stuck to your teeth, they're messy. But I have done it before, and I do like them. I would say B's solid because you're right. They do sell very well. So I would go for B. Like before the Twizzlers and the Cheeto.
Okay.
I would agree with Aaron, except I'd put them below the Twizzlers, above the Cheetos, below the Twizzlers.
Yeah, that sounds fair. What do you think, Chris?
I love milk duds. I think they're delicious. But yeah, I agree. They're kind of a pain to eat sometimes because they do get stick to your teeth. But with that being said, I think they're a solid thing for sure. Yeah. I would have to put them above Twizzlers.
Put them above Twizzlers.
You keep disrespecting the Twizzlers, man.
Yeah.
Everything's a little bit above Twizzlers for you.
Oh, it is, actually. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think by
that burger I had today was above Twizzlers.
Right. But with that, though, I think that we probably do got to put them just above Twizzlers, I feel like that.
It sounds like, go ahead, man.
You just got slapped across the face.
Yep. Twist the knife.
By your son.
Yep. By your own son. But so Aaron.
I mean, I'm up next. All right. All right. I started this off by going for one that I don't understand why people eat in general, and I'll go for another one. Who eats Charleston chews in a movie theater? They're not for me personally, but I can get the appeal if you like them. I know they're a longer standing candy. I've heard they're better frozen. Like, I get the appeal behind it in certain places, but who's eating these in a movie theater? For that reason, at least a D, if not an F.
Yeah. Totally agree. There's no reason for them to be in a movie theater. I would go F even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go F. What do you think, Chris?
I love Charleston chews. Yeah. It's always kind of one of my brother Robbie and I's like go-to candy.
Really?
So he'd get that, and maybe I'd get Cookie to bites and we kind of share it. You know, I've always loved Charleston chews. I think they're delicious. I absolutely do think they belong in a movie theater. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah. If they're quite S tier, but I definitely think they're A tier. Oh my gosh, I just keep burping. Sorry. Right behind Raisinets. Because they're up there with the nostalgia and the goodness of going to the movie theater.
All right. Yeah, so for me, like, Charleston Chew are kind of like a middle of the road candy for me. I do have a little bit of a nostalgia factor, so I had one of my best friend, Doug Strait. For those of you guys who might know him, he actually passed away a few years back. But he loved Charleston Chew. That was his all-time favorite candy. Every time that we ever hung out, he always had a Charleston Chew. When we first started eating, like, I didn't really get it. I was just like, man, why do you always eat Charleston Chew? Those are gross. Like I don't know why you really like you'd always argue. You always be like, I'd be like, what, man? Like Charleston Chews are amazing, and they're so simple. They're just nougat and chocolate, and they taste great. So like, over the years, they did kind of grow on me. But I mean, I still think that they're pretty middle of the road, even kind of like more towards the lower side. I would like probably put them just below junior mints for me. That's where I would want to put it. But I mean, and I think to kind of average it out, that might be a solid spot for it. Or we can even move it to the bottom of C, whatever you guys think is better. But I think somewhere in the C or maybe even high D.
Yeah, like maybe high D.
Yeah, I think
only because only one person went towards the top of the graph.
Yeah, right. So I think that's a
sorry, Chris.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, your Twizzlers are going down too. It's okay.
I know.
Yep. We'll see, but yeah, you're up, Scooter. Do you want to pick?
Can I choose Twizzlers again and move them up into the S? No.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try the spiritual fight with red vines if you'd like.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's talk about the red vine comparison. To me, the red vines are a little bit, I don't know. They're a little bit, can't think of the right word. That's
magical.
No, that wasn't it.
Delicious.
To me, they feel a little more plasticky somehow. But a fresh pack of Twizzlers are just soft and magical. Yeah, magical was the word. So
that's a good word for it.
So, but I know most of my kids would pick red vines over Twizzlers, but for me, I always like Twizzlers.
Where do you want the red vines in, sir?
I think they're still a solid movie thing. I'd put them like at the top of the C's in that area.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
So I absolutely love red vines. They're great. I like Twizzlers to a degree, except I feel like Twizzlers get like old pretty fast. But red vines I can eat like more and more and more, and it doesn't feel like I'm like just getting sick on these. I think they're delicious. I think they're juicy. I think they're what Twizzlers try to be. They're like if you're just like, hey, kids, have some Twizzlers, and nobody would like Twizzlers, so you say like Twizzler over the red vine label, and that's why you probably thought they were delicious, Scooter. I think you just didn't know. It's all right. So I'm just for that reason alone, I'm gonna have to throw it in S tier, behind those original M&Ms.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, like for me, like the more that I think about it, like I do kind of think maybe Twizzlers needs to get bumped up for real. Like I do think that they're like pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like some kind of licorice needs to be like at least A tier. I feel like, but I mean, and we usually tend to have red vines more in our house when I was growing up, just because like I know like my brother Aaron, we would always give for his birthday just one of those huge like pound or like giant drum of like of the red vines that you can get at like Costco. So
that
we always
sounds like
had
a dentist nightmare.
Yeah, right. We would always have those. So I'd sneak in his room and when he was asleep or wasn't home, and I always steal a few out of there. But
yeah, you were sleeping. I get them.
Yeah, for me, it's just hard for me to really put them above Twizzlers, but I feel like I would want to put them above some things that are above Twizzlers. So I mean, I kind of feel like maybe we should move it up, but that's just me. I mean, if everyone agrees, we could think about it. But besides that, though, I would probably put it probably at the bottom of B tier, though, just because I don't really like them as much as Twizzlers. But what do you think, Aaron?
Overall, if we're talking about brand, my favorite type of licorice is actually the cherry Twizzler, the more like peel and pull type Twizzler. I prefer those.
Oh yeah.
Red vines are a little closer to that, but they're not quite that consistency either. For me, it's honestly a coin flip between the two that you really see in movie theaters. I think they're probably both fine in B, and just whichever one goes slightly more first is, dealer's choice kind of. But that's definitely in front of the Cheeto popcorn, which shouldn't be in B.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Get rid of it.
You can move it down. Like I'd be alright with that. I'm not even big on it. Like we could move Cheetos popcorn like maybe down here.
Behind Juju.
That one. But,
Fruit.
Behind Juju.
yeah.
Mark's going to get mad.
Well, he can Hulk.
But what do you think about bumping Twizzlers up? Huh? Yeah.
I'm not dying on that hill personally, so.
What do you think, Chris? Would you bump it up or no?
No, I would definitely move Red Vine up above it. Absolutely. If we're gonna do that, then Red Vines goes in front of those peanut M&Ms, which are sacred to so many people.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe we'll just leave them where they're at for now. But
yeah, leave them where they're at for now.
Yeah, but Chris, it's your turn. So
I love Reese's Pieces. I think they're absolutely delicious.
oh, yeah.
They're definitely one of my favorites. I even kind of, I wouldn't say I kind of prefer them above M&Ms. I'm actually kind of sad you can't find them in like packages anymore. Like you used to be able to find them in packages. The way to do it now, you have to buy like a big old bag of Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah. Can't really see this.
I would definitely, gosh, I gotta put it at the top of S tier, in front of cookie dough bites.
Okay.
Wow.
Bites. Well, me, personally, like I think I would agree with that. I actually love Reese's Pieces. Like I think that they're solid. They always remind me of the movie E.T. when he eats Reese's Pieces. But even more than that, I think that they're absolutely delicious, and they're probably one of my favorite candies on this whole entire list. Like I just love Reese's Pieces. So I mean, I think for me, I definitely like Reese's Pieces above all the M&Ms that are on this list. And I don't really even like cookie dough bites all that much. I think they're kind of up there for the fact that they're a high seller at a movie theater, I feel like. So yeah, I think that's a solid spot. I would leave Reese's Pieces right where they're at in the S tier. But what do you think, Aaron?
I think that is an interesting point that you made in terms of movie association. They're certainly very deeply associated with E.T. Like when you think Reese's Pieces, you wouldn't be wrong to think of E.T. The only problem is when you think of E.T., then you might think of Mac and Me, which kind of hurts the memory of that just a little bit.
Yeah.
I really like Reese's Pieces. I like peanut butter M&Ms better personally, so for me they're probably a mid to high A. I wouldn't quite put them in S, just because unless peanut butter M&Ms also ended up in S, it's just I think they are slightly below peanut butter M&Ms for me, so probably a high to mid A.
Okay.
Same for me. Right down the line. I would prefer M&Ms to that. Reese's Pieces seems like a cheaper version of a peanut butter M&M to me. So I would put Reese's Pieces like a high A, and peanut butter M&Ms at the bottom of the S's.
I kind of think that maybe I spoke a little soon because when I think about it, I actually think that I do like peanut butter M&Ms, probably slightly better than Reese's Pieces, but not by much. Really, anything that has peanut butter is kind of a little bit of a toss-up for me. But I think probably I would pick peanut butter M&Ms just above it. But I would still, with even saying that, I would still keep the Reese's Pieces exactly where they're at, though. Like, and then even when it comes to peanut butter M&Ms, I'd put it above Reese's. But we have 2 votes for the S tier and 2 votes for the A tier. So I kind of feel like maybe put it at the very top of A. I think that's right.
Yeah.
a solid spot. That's a good compromise. So
I
yeah,
agree.
we'll go with that. So so now it's my turn, and I think I got to go with the ice cream. So, like, not too many people really like associate very much ice cream with the movie theater, but like I actually love getting the little dibs at a movie theater. And actually, the movie theater I work at, we actually had a gelato stand over in the Village movie theater. That they have gelato there, which is cool. They actually have a full coffee shop. You can get like pretty much anything you get at a Starbucks, basically. So that,
Damn.
but and I would rank them fairly high. Like I love having ice cream at a movie theater. I didn't really think to really get them for like years after I started going to movie theaters. Once I was kind of going out on my own, maybe when I was like a teenager or so, and so I didn't really think to really buy it, but over the years, like once I started doing it, like I got ice cream all the time. So probably for me, I would want to put it probably at the top of B tier. That's where I would put it. But what do you think, Aaron?
Since it's the only representative of ice cream, I would agree it belongs in B tier. I'd probably drop it a couple of slots. If we're talking about the dibs, personally, I prefer other types of ice cream to dibs. But
Right.
since it is technically the only representative of ice cream, I would say probably the lower end of B.
Okay.
I kind of agree with that. I don't really associate ice cream with a movie experience for me. So, I can see that they would be okay, but yeah, I would have put them into C, but I kind of like Aaron's reasoning there that they're the only representative of ice cream, but I would move it down a couple spots. I would move it below the Twizzlers, but that's just me.
All right.
I know Chris would put them a little bit above the Twizzlers.
Always one in front. One in
What
front.
do you think, Chris?
I'm gonna have to put them in front of Twizzlers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're delicious.
I think that's a fair spot, probably. I think that's
Chris
actually
just
right.
hates. Man, he just hates all day long.
Listen, if it's any consolation, your Twizzlers are still ahead of his Red Vines.
That's true. That's a big consolation.
Yep. Like, why you gotta be hating, Chris? Come on.
Does that mean it's me?
Yep. So it is your turn here.
All right, we've been flirting with it for the last few rounds. Let's just get to it. Peanut butter M&Ms. I
Right.
definitely, again, as I've said, all M&Ms are a very strong contender for movie theater candy. For me, this is right ahead of Reese's Pieces. I really do love them. So for me, it's probably either top of A or bottom of S.
Yeah. What do you think, Scooter?
I'm a big fan of them too. I mean, I've said already that I prefer peanut M&Ms, but I can see that where it's headed, that it's going to be ahead of the peanut M&Ms. I wouldn't mind it at the bottom of the S tier. Yeah, I think they're really good.
Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
I love peanut butter M&Ms. So it's funny, like I didn't really like peanut butter M&Ms forever. Like I never got them in theaters. Okay, I always got the original M&Ms. I actually started eating peanut butter M&Ms. I got them from my wife. My wife loves peanut butter M&Ms, and I was like, I think one day I was like, okay, let's finally try these, and I was like, these are amazing.
Yep.
So like I feel like I get them and they're just gone. There's no there's no self-control with these things.
No.
So for that reason alone, absolutely they're S tier. But for the sole reason, no. For the sole reason I think of classic regular M&Ms is the creme de la creme of M&M land. That's where M&Ms go, and peanut butter M&Ms go just beneath them. But they're still freaking amazing.
Right. Yeah. For me, like, what I was kind of like debating in my mind when it came to peanut butter M&Ms and on Reese's Pieces, I feel like peanut butter M&Ms, that the peanut butter actually tasted a little more like actual peanut butter to me. I feel like that the Reese's kind of tastes a little better to me. So for that reason, I really like that. And then I would put them actually pretty high. I would actually put them above cookie dough bites. Just because like I'm not even a huge cookie dough bite fan, and that's just me. But I mean, we can make a solid compromise. I actually think just having them at the bottom of S probably seems to be about the best compromise. I'd say.
I was gonna ask you guys because I know a lot of people voted. Was I the only one here, like present here, who didn't put peanut M&Ms in S? Did all three of you guys put it in S? I'm curious.
No,
I don't really care for peanut butter M&Ms at all. So
yeah,
peanut M&Ms.
Okay.
Chris was the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, I'm cool with it where it is. Then yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Me too. Me too.
With two
but it should be said, it's like less than a single space between all four of them, counting Reese's Pieces. They're all top tier.
Yeah.
Right. I would
Honestly,
agree.
I'd move peanut M&Ms up ahead of Icy's.
I would too.
You guys,
I'd make it a straight line.
I would, but
Chris is shaking his head.
No. What about a hot dog?
just because I don't even think I'd put it above a hot dog. Nope. Yeah.
Nope,
Really?
I'd rather have a hot dog.
Wouldn't do it either.
That is
Yeah.
cold and
All right.
reheated.
Reheated from the previous day. Yep. Right.
All right. Well, you sir.
Truth comes
not your
out.
food
Dun, dun, dun,
inspector.
dun.
Yep. But then
Three,
Scooter's
give him a
there.
bag of cash. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
All right. I'm going to go with Twix.
Okay. What do you think?
It's another one of those things that mixes some good things, kind of the cookie center and the chocolate and the caramel. So I love them. The drawback, I have to admit, they can be a little messy, if you're taking your time eating one or bits of them. So, I wouldn't put them on an S tier or anything, but I would probably put them somewhere near Twizzlers. I would go above or a little below Twizzlers, one spot below Twizzlers.
Okay. All right.
So what would you do, Chris? I'm just curious.
Yeah. What do you think?
Twix are definitely above Twizzlers. Okay, they're a much more substantial treat. They have your delicious cookie, perfect little amount of caramel dancing with the chocolate. It's just like magic.
You're choreographing it.
Oh, I am. You want one. It's okay.
Like an art.
Here's the Twizzler right now. Come on, kids. We're sponsored by Twizzlers.
Right? Yeah.
Not Twizzlers, because Twizzlers suck.
Not Twizzlers, Red Vines, right?
Yes, Red Vine sponsored us today.
Yeah.
Everyone today is getting a free year supply of Red Vine.
Right?
What I'm getting from this is the Twix sponsors real mad we're talking about Twizzlers during their segment.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But what would you want to put Twix, Chris?
I'm putting Twix above Twizzlers. They're the candy land of candy.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
That was brilliant.
Gonna do that. Yep. Well,
Aaron, you are hilarious, man. You need to be on more of our shows. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now I know why Jordan was talking to you, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yep. It's solid. But for me, like I really love Twix. Like I would rank Twix pretty high. Like I would definitely put it in the A tier. Like I actually love. Well, so like anyone who knows me, like I love cookies of all kinds. Like my nickname very well it could be Cookie Monster. Like I just eat cookies all the time. Like I make cookies. I mean even like the little shortbread cookie the inside of a Twix. I still love it. So I would put it right above Icy's. Honestly, is where I would rank it.
Oh, you're even bumping down your ices. Are you feeling okay?
Wow.
Yeah. Like I would actually do that. But what do you think, Aaron?
So this is a bit of a slight brag, but yesterday I had the ability to go see a early screening at a private screening of a movie that was released today, and I had Twix during that film. I love Twix. I'd put it in S personally, but I could see A and B because I do agree they can get messy if they're there for a little bit, especially because they're bites often in theaters when it starts melting. So I can see the drop, but I'd put it in S personally. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, like I actually wouldn't even mind putting it in the S tier. Like I really love Twix, so like if it was at the bottom of S tier, like I'd be totally happy with that. But what do you guys think though? You guys say more of a B, but so like probably like a good compromise could be somewhere in the A tier, like maybe at the bottom of A. But the kind of what I'm thinking might be a good compromise. But
I'd say personally if it's an A above Raisinets, but everything else stays above.
Yeah.
So I love Twix. I think they're absolutely flipping delicious. I think they're the perfect candy. I agree, Jordan. I'm also like you. I love cookies.
Yep.
I really was just kind of going there just to kind of put one more over on Scooter. But it's definitely an S tier candy for me as well. I don't know if it's quite the top, but I would definitely probably put it right behind the peanut butter.
I mean,
yes, because I can't move my original M&Ms down.
Yeah, like I think that's be a solid spot. Like I'm okay having them in that S tier too. So
I'm not okay sacrificing myself.
All right.
I'm not as honorable as you are, Jordan.
No, right. Well, I try. But that being said, so now it is who picked last?
I think it's Chris, right?
I did.
Chris, yeah.
So it's Chris.
Okay.
So
Your turn.
let's see.
There's still a few solid things we haven't touched on, but
There are. Gosh.
and there's some solid F tiers that I see too.
So I've never liked Skittles. I don't get the appeal. I think like you
Really?
have like a few good flavors and then they're kind of gross. For that reason alone, I would definitely put them in F. They're
That'd
one
be
of
for the
most
original ones
overrated.
or for the sour one? Because
Both.
I added both of them just because I do see both of those at movie theaters, so that's why I kind of wanted to just have them.
Absolute F tier.
You think for original ones?
Yep.
Wow, yeah. That is a bold statement. Because for me, like, I actually really like Skittles a lot. For me, like, I would always pick like pretty much anything chocolate over like the fruity type of candy, but that's just me. And I mean, but as far as fruity candy goes, I think Skittles kind of rank up near the top for me. Like I'd probably put Skittles probably in the B tier, in between corn dog bites and the milk duds. Where I would put it. But what do you think, Aaron?
Well, I still think the best product Skittles ever made was Skittles Bubblegum. Don't know why that shit went away. That's exactly what Skittles should be doing. If we were talking sour Skittles, which I think are far inferior, I could see the argument. But I do like Skittles. I'd probably though say around C because I think you're right. I have had them at theaters, but I don't naturally go for them. So I'd probably go around C.
Okay, Scooter, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't care for them either. You know, they kind of get in the teeth. They're another one like kind of like milk duds that just kind of stick in there. C level for bottom of C level for me is a reasonable place.
I think that's fair. But yeah, like right above the popcorn. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Unless Chris wants to argue positively for the popcorn.
Yeah.
No, the popcorn needs to go back down to Jew.
Yeah, back down to D. But so I guess that's my turn. So let's see here. I think I'm gonna. So I gotta go. Well.
You gotta go with water.
Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's drink some water. Actually, so what's gonna maybe do good in plenty and throw them in an F tier. But actually, I like it a little better than F tier. So I'm gonna go with water. I mean, water. It's like there's not really much you can say about water. It's literally like the thing that you drink every single day of your life. So it's really nothing special. But really, the only reason why I put it on the list is because I felt like we were almost selling more water, more bottles of water at the movie theaters that I worked at than even soda. There's been a pretty big trend for like people wanting to eat healthier and kind of like to stay away from soda especially. But I mean, but like you can't really say much about water. It's just water. It's like there's really like I don't even like really have like much of an argument to or like for it or against it. So like I would just say like it's water, but I would put it maybe like at the top of D. I mean, like honestly, it could go on the list really, but like we'll just put it there. I mean, for this one, I'm just gonna open it up to like anyone have anything to say about a bottle of water. It's pretty generic.
Honestly, I am almost tempted to put it in F for practicality reasons. Like,
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water during the day. When I go to work, I always have bottles of water with me. I have water with me right now in a fridge in my room. Like, I drink a lot of water. But water does sell well at movie theaters. But the problem is that's given a lot of theater chains license to raise the price of water. Why am I paying $4 to $5 for a bottle of water that I can get for $2 elsewhere? Like, as somebody who worked at a theater, you know, I always jokingly say, like, I don't advocate for sneaking something in, but if you're gonna sneak shit in, sneak a bottle of water in, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Pay for theater water. I'd go to the soda fountain with a courtesy cup over and over again rather than pay for a bottle of water. So for that reason alone, I'd say F. It's just not worth it at theater prices.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I'm fine with it, D or F, but to pay, you know, $3, $4, $5 for that, I just would never do it. So, you know, it's got to be pretty low for me.
Yeah, the theater that I worked at, we actually had this like giant large water that actually cost $8. $8 for a freaking bottle of water. But it was huge though. You're getting like almost half a gallon of water for this huge thing of water, but still like you can just refill your courtesy cup like you said. So like for that reason, like I mean, I'll probably just throw it in the F tier just because it's just water and you can get it free almost anywhere or just buy a bottle a lot cheaper anywhere else. So
just go drink out of the drinking fountain.
Yeah, right. You literally have a drinking fountain right there.
Now, disclaimer for the channel: this is not us telling you not to drink water. This is us telling you don't buy it from a movie theater.
Water's good.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have the little thing from the Water Boy. Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
It sucks.
Right.
Soda
I wish I could randomly put
in
up
it, but your
clips
body
like
don't
that,
work
Jordan.
like that.
I wish that was possible.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we'll just move over to Aaron and let you pick something.
All right. I feel like this is one people are going to disagree on, but I'm going to go for another one that I'm going to shit on. And this is taking away the fact that I actually don't like this item in general, but I'm going to go for coffee and F simply because why would you get a piping hot liquid and bring it into a dark room with you? That seems like an accident waiting to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
And I question anybody who reasonably wants to do it, especially like because I have worked at 2 different theaters, but both of them were within complexes. Just go somewhere else after or before and get a cup of coffee. You can't need it that badly in a room with no light. Just no.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
100%. I got nothing more to add to that. That's perfect.
What do you think, Chris?
So someone that really, really likes coffee,
yeah.
I gotta say I really like it. I think it's enjoyable, but at the same time, it's kind of mixed. Like drinking a piping cup of hot coffee where I can't really because really you're kind of like you're trying to sip it, just make sure it's not too hot. But usually the coffee that comes out of those things is like 2,000 degrees. Okay, it's like above the McDonald's lawsuit level. Okay, you know, Yeah, it's just a bad thing waiting to happen.
Yep. So like maybe I would just bump it above water because hey, it's coffee and it's got some flavor to it, maybe.
You
But
get
that's
slightly more.
Yes.
It's also cheaper than water in some areas,
Caffeine.
which means you could burn yourself for less than the water.
right.
Yes!
Like,
Caffeine.
That is true.
Yay. But I
Yep.
love coffee.
Yeah.
That's the struggle. Yeah.
well,
But not in a movie theater.
we'll leave it there. So, Scooter, do you want to pick from what's left?
I can't tell what some of those things are anymore, but what's just
Here,
to
can
the
make it bigger. Oh wait, sorry, that's too big where it makes me scroll.
okay, you're
French
moving it.
fries? What?
Yeah.
French fries are in a movie theater?
What's by the
Uh,
sour
thing down
Skittles?
here,
Usually not, but next to so we have some lemon heads here, and then over here we have Good and Plenty.
No, the sour Skittles. Yeah, you see those,
Oh, the sour
right?
Skittle. Oh yeah, so those are mozzarella sticks. Those.
I'll go with those.
And if you look closely, the little paper, if you really
Are those
scratch
AMC
it-
mozzarella sticks? Did you just find a picture of them?
no, they're actually Regal mozzarella sticks. If you look closely,
Okay.
the little crown for the Regal.
Okay.
Yep.
Take that,
Yeah.
AMC.
No,
Yep,
they might
right.
be the same brand. Like, quite honestly,
Yeah, they probably are.
the same brand.
For me, I would put them below the pizza, but above the Snowcaps, below the Junior Mints, above
Okay.
or between the Junior Mints and Snowcaps.
Oh, it's on.
Okay. Okay, what do you think, Chris?
Oh, it's on.
I just think
Yeah.
he just threw the gauntlet down, and we're gonna have like a War of the Worlds here. Okay, it's gonna be mano
There
and
you go.
mano. I think that mod sticks are bomb.com, especially with some marinara dipping sauce. It's like mom, bring in the daddy. Just for that magical reason alone, they definitely belong in S tier.
S
I want to
tier.
put him behind Twix, though.
But you got the marinara sauce. You know, you're trying to handle it in the dark. You got both hands going with the sticks and the sauce. I don't know.
Some of us are graceful. It's okay.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, I'll send you an autographed picture later.
Yeah, right. Because well,
Jordan,
Sorry.
break up the sexual tension,
Yeah.
please. Come on.
once I can catch my breath here. All right. So for me, like I think that like it's really hard to screw up a mozzarella stick. Like I feel like whether you
Oh, I have a story for you.
oh yeah.
gosh.
For me, I
Oh,
just feel like if I buy it at like
Okay,
a
we need a
fine
story
dining
time.
restaurant, or if I buy it from a movie theater, or if I buy it frozen from the grocery store, like there's not really like a huge dip in quality. I mean, there is a little dip, but not a huge one. So I just feel like the only thing you don't really want to do is you don't really want to eat a mozzarella stick cold. I feel like that's when it becomes kind of gross. But if you eat it hot, I mean, I think that it's really hard to go wrong with the piping hot mozzarella stick and with the marinara sauce to it. And also too, if you look at the little picture too over here, you can see some space in the back where you can stick the little cup. So like you can definitely like have a little place where you're not going to spill it. So like I would actually put mozzarella sticks, honestly, probably in the S tier. Like I would agree. Like I'd probably put it at the bottom of S tier, but I would throw it in the S tier. But what do you think, Aaron?
I apologize. So I agree. I
love
love
a story.
mozzarella. I love mozzarella sticks. They're probably the hot food snack I order most at a theater. I apologize. I'm scrolling because I have a picture. Here it is. I love mozzarella sticks. I think you are right. They are, for the most part, very hard to mess up. So they're probably the hot food snack I get the most. So I would put them in S tier. So the story time is, let me get rid of the date and all that. When I was at AMC, this was now nearly 2 years ago, they switched companies that did the mozzarella sticks. And the company they switched to had attempted to come up with a new formula, like whatever they do the cheese when they curate the cheese to try and make it stringier. Whatever, we had to stop selling them for nearly 2 months because whatever they did, they fucked up the formula And so when we brought them in on a whim, we were like, let's test cook them and see what they're like. And this was them after 2 fries. They just would not cook.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was like we found out afterwards, it was on a literal chemical-based level. Whatever they did to the cheese to curate it, they fucked it up. It just wouldn't cook. So that's the only time I've ever seen someone mess up mozzarella sticks.
Wow. But
they did not taste good either, for the record. I did try them with marinara sauce. They did not taste good.
Really?
There was no saving even the cheese.
Yeah, marinara sauce couldn't even salvage them, huh? But
sadness.
But for a good mozzarella stick, or like even like the like better
for a cooked mozzarella stick, they're great.
Yeah. For the better out of the two, would you still put it in S tier then? You think?
Like at the very bottom, but I would say there.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, but I guarantee you, Jordan, you come out of the theater with marinara sauce dribbled down the front of your T-shirt.
For me, most definitely, because like I'm notorious for spilling things. Like I always spill all over. There's one time where I literally came out of the dark movie theater and I had some kind of chocolate and I had a white T-shirt on and literally like the biggest brown stain you can imagine. And like I felt like really embarrassed, but like. But it always seems to happen to me in a movie theater. So maybe for me, they're not the best option, but for most people, maybe. But yeah. So
that was Scooters, right?
That was mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So that's Chris. I'm losing track.
So
Chris, what do you got? Anything hit your eye?
Let's see. Good and plenty. Let's throw those in F behind water.
So worse than water, huh?
Oh, absolutely worse than water. I would rather be run over by a car over and over again.
Aren't those the ones
just reanimated and run over again?
Don't they have black licorice in the middle of them?
They're black licorice, yes.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Okay.
For me, like I really like the black licorice. Actually, like I'm like with Scooter in the minority, and that we both really like black licorice. But there's just something weird about Good and Plenty, where like it's just not really even good black licorice. Like I don't even know if there's even such a thing as like
that's true.
As good black licorice to most people, but like it just tastes really rubbery, and like sometimes they're like so rubbery you can't even chew through them. You're just like chewing and chewing on them, and they don't want to break up in your mouth. but for me, like probably though, like I would at least put them above Juji fruits. I think Juji fruits are just wrong. They're like one of the worst things on here. So I would at least put them there. But what do you think, Aaron?
I mean, I'm not a fan of black licorice, and as you said, I mean, I can at least distinguish as someone who doesn't like between good and bad black licorice, and Good and Plenty's not even good black licorice.
Right.
So for that reason, I would say below Juji Fruit on D, only because F is literally not worth the value and can physically harm you. So which I don't know if I'd put Good and Plenty in that category, but it's not a great option personally. I'd say even for black licorice fans, like Twizzler might hit it closer than that.
Yep. Yeah, I would maybe even agree with that. But what do you think, Scooter?
As the black
for me, I would move them up a little bit, but actually, I mean, not above Almond Joy though. So I'm okay.
Right there.
Either side of Juju Fruit.
Yeah.
I did.
And also too, like the reason why I kind of want to move them down a little bit, because they almost kind of fool you. There's like Good and Plenty, and like that sounds like a pretty good thing, and then there's these
plenty of them. They're not good.
What? Yeah, right. Like, yeah.
Maybe they mean good or plenty.
Yeah, right. So like
they're confused.
I think the first time that I bought them, like I didn't even know that they were black licorice flavored. To be honest, I they're just gonna be like some kind of Mike and Ike's or something like that.
Right.
And then I bite into them. And I'm like, what the heck? And then like in my head, you have like the like the Price is Right fail thing going in my head, boom, 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 or whatever, like fail. So yeah, like, I think Tutti
Oh,
Fruits might be about
we need
right.
an add-on, dude, for like sound effects or something, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or so
right.
we can
This one
show
will have to come
clips
in-
from
they'll have
things.
to come in the future. So next week we have a guy who actually does a lot of cool sound effects. So we're gonna have Nikki on. He always does the
With
sound
his
effects
mouth.
on laptop. So like, Nikki's
from
been on After Dark before. Yeah,
My
so
Nikki.
come on.
Okay,
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna see if he wants to be welcome to bring his sound effects with him.
He will do it. He will do it if you ask him. He loves.
Can he
loves
do
playing with
like? Are we
soundboards.
talking like level of one of the greatest movies ever made? Spaceballs with the boops and the
Spaceballs?
beats and the
Oh
swoops.
yeah,
Dude's got 100 clips on there ready to go. Like it's intense.
Really?
He loves
That's-
it. Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Like for
Nice.
so for our show that we do After Dark, which on our channel is like our weekly kind of movie news centered hangout type of show.
Yeah.
He literally has curated soundbite intros for all of us that he'll play as we're introducing ourselves. Like he loves playing with that thing. You will, if you like clips, you'll get a kick out of them.
nice. So like basically, so usually we normally I try to keep this show to roughly 2 hours. I went over a little bit thinking we might be able to get through it. So like I think what I want to do it from here on out, we just want to try to come up with a solid top 10. So whether or not we want to move something up to make it a top 10, or we want to add something here, so we'll still go in an order like we have been going. So I think that means Scooter's next. Is that right, or am I getting
No, you are next.
Oh, I'm next. Okay. Yeah, it's on the way off. I think I've been drinking a little bit, but so basically we're just trying to fill out the top 10. Honestly,
What's there? 7
I'm
slots, so 3 left.
yeah. So I'm almost thinking maybe moving Reese's Pieces up, but from what's down here, actually no. So I'm gonna go with actually the Cinnabon Bites, but I would put them at the bottom of S tier, but at the same time, though, part of me almost doesn't want to put them in S tier, just because the way that they're cooked at a movie theater. Like for some reason they never seem to really come out like very like I don't know, like very fresh tasting. Like always, like half of them end up stale. Like they're just not as soft as they should be. Whereas if you were to go to the Cinnabon and actually buy them, so I mean, it may not quite make it to S tier for me, but I'm just gonna throw it up there for the debate. I was gonna just see what you guys think of the Cinnabon Bite. So I'd put it at the top of A. But what do you think, Aaron?
These would honestly be way lower for me. One of the things I think movie theaters consistently do badly is branded imitation products. So like the Cheetos popcorn is something that falls into that, and I would put Cinnabon Bites into that as well. Not only are they just messy to eat in a movie theater, you're right, bread items that have to cook in an oven like that, whether it's these or pretzels or anything of that type, they never cook quite right. They're either too chewy or not cooked all the way through or overcooked, or it's very rare you'll get a good one out of it. So no, not for me.
Where would you want to put it then?
I mean, honestly, I'm in like C range with that one. I'd put that like alongside kind of the Cheetos popcorn type of thing of like it's a fun gimmick and maybe it's done well every once in a while.
Right. And Scooter, what do you think?
I would agree that it needs to go down. I would probably put at bottom of B, maybe somewhere right in there.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
So
just above Twizzlers?
I like Cinnabons, okay, but I don't know about them being necessarily at the top of A. Kind of based on what Aaron said on it, I would have to say they belong behind. No, in front of Cheeto popcorn because Cheeto popcorn can't be first.
Right.
Yeah, but right there.
I think that like for me, like I think that they're a little better than like most of the candy here. I know Scooter, you said B, so I mean, But I mean, really, I mean, we could bump it up, but really, it would just be a matter of like where in the C tier they would go. So honestly, like if it comes down to that, I'm actually fine with it. With just leaving them where they're at. I mean, honestly. But if you guys are all right with that, we'll go to the next.
So are you wanting us to pick something to move up into the top 10 to finish the top 10? Is that
basically? Yeah.
Yeah, so you can move something up,
there.
or you can pick something that's like still there. But yeah, just to kind of just fill out the top 10. So
okay?
All right. So I'm next,
Aaron.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think if we're putting together a top 10, there should be a representative from at least one representative from all the different types of foods here. The only thing that's not up there is the fruitier candy, the harder candy, not chocolate. Out of everything that's both ranked and unranked, to me, the best option of them all is the Starburst. I think they're the most flavorful. To me, I think the way they sell them at theaters and the little bits unwrapped in the bag is very easy to eat. They're something that I love personally, and I think if we're gonna put anything fruit flavored in there, that would be it for me personally.
Okay. What do you think, Scooter?
I'm not a fan of them myself, but I think I kind of agree with the reasoning, and I think smaller or younger kids too, like the grandkids, that would be their first pick. So I think putting them up in the S, I'd be okay with. For that reason.
What do you think, Chris?
I think Starbursts are pretty good, but they're definitely not one of my favorites. I mean, I don't even really think I like Starbursts, but based on that reasoning, but then again, okay, so if we're going to talk about fruity, then I have something else to propose for that spot. But I agree. There's a lot of younger kids that like Starburst. I know my brother likes them. So I'm okay with putting it in no, you know what? I want it down in A, behind Reese's Pieces.
Okay. And for me, like I'm not even a huge Starburst fan. Like I don't know, like they're okay, but I mean I would even put them like in A, probably at the bottom of A. It is where I would put them. So, but like, but where do you say, Scooter? Do you say A? I mean S tier. I'm sorry. You say
I
S?
said bottom of S.
Okay, so I think kind of. I mean, we can. For now, like I think we can.
I want to, when we get to Chris, I want to hear what his combatant is for that. That's what makes me curious. When we get
so we could put it at the bottom for now, but it may end up moving down. I'm just gonna leave it there, kind of tentatively, but so what do you got, Scooter? You got one that you think could go?
Well, of all the things that aren't in S that I think should be in S is the peanut M&Ms.
Okay, the peanut M&M should move up, huh?
I would move them up to the bottom of, to me, they're that I like them better than Starburst, so I'd put them right above Starburst.
It might be a case to have all three kinds of M&Ms in the top 10, maybe. So, I mean, but what do you guys think? I mean, I know Chris probably doesn't want him up there.
No, he doesn't. So I don't know if we can fill out the top 10. Because I don't see anything down below that I would put.
Done.
Yeah, so do you guys see anything? What about nachos? Do you think nachos go up there or not really? Or even chicken tenders? I mean, those could go maybe. I'm not really
Chris, what was your combatant? I'm curious.
Yeah.
My combatant is a Mike and Ike's. I think Mike and Ike's are they have a wide range of different flavors. We have they're kind of juicy. There's something that I feel like everyone can eat and enjoy. You kind of get the sweetness. You kind of get the chewy. You kind of get kind of the best of all those worlds. So for that reason, I think Mike and Ike's definitely should take the place of Starburst. but I understand that a lot of people like them. So for that reason, I think that Starburst, I'm comfortable with them, like even following to the top of Reese's Pieces, which is saying something because I love Reese's Pieces. So I'll give you that, man. You made a solid argument.
Yeah, for me, I think that like Starbursts are not really something that I really eat at a movie theater. I feel like if I'm gonna have something fruity at a movie theater, I'm gonna go something more like a Mike and Ike. So and actually probably like it might be the only time I ever eat Mike and Ike is actually at a movie theater. I don't really think I ever get them outside of that. So for me, like if we're gonna have something fruity, like I don't know if I would necessarily put it in the S tier, but if we wanted to have something fruity, I would actually go with the Starburst. Well, no, I mean with Mike and Ike's over Starburst for me personally. Just we're talking about just straight up movie theater candy, but what do you guys think? At this point, I'm just gonna opening it up to general debate so anyone can jump in.
So down here, I'm actually quite the opposite. Most theaters down here don't sell Mike and Ike's in theaters. So I'm the opposite. I really only eat Starburst when I'm at the theaters, and Mike and Ike's I pick up for 98 cents at a Walmart bin if I see them.
Right.
So it's more just theater association. But I do agree with you. If it's one of the two in there, it's Starburst or Mike and Ike's. But as I said, my experiences are very different from your guys since you're more in a general regional area.
Right.
So I would leave that up to you guys in terms of, because flavor-wise, I love them both. They're like 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like, overall, I think that I probably like Starburst better, but at the same time, Mike and Ike seems more like a movie theater thing for me. But like,
right.
I mean, I could like honestly go either way. So I mean, I think maybe Starburst might even be a solid pick. Which like, if I were to rank Mike and Ike's, just because we have it here, I would rank it more in like a B tier. Like I'd rank it just at the bottom of B. But I think though, yeah. That's like kind of looking like we don't really have too much with it. Like I don't think any of these would make
Bunch
it
of Crunch.
Bunch of Crunch I really like, yeah.
Yeah,
superior.
Like that or tenders, chicken tenders. I can also see the argument for
that. Or maybe
no,
Reese's
separately, obviously, not literally competing against each other, but like Bunch of Crunch or chicken tenders, I think could both fight their way into the S.
Yeah. Like I would even put like Bunch of Crunch. Like I think that's a go-to movie theater snack. Like you used to be able to find Bunch of Crunches all over the place, but now it's like literally almost only at movie theaters now.
Yeah, exclusively.
Yeah. So like
they're hoarding them.
Right. Yeah.
They're like those are one of the top go-tos. Whenever I'm craving just straight up chocolate, it's usually either those or M&Ms.
Yeah, so like I think that like I'd probably put them just under peanut butter M&Ms for me. But what do you guys think?
I might even put them right above peanut butter M&Ms, but either way it works for me.
You know, a lot of people will like dump the Bunch of Crunch right in with the popcorn too.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that a lot too.
I don't do it personally because I don't eat popcorn, but if the trend of dumping something into popcorn, like chocolate-wise, I think if it's going to be anything, it should be Bunch of Crunch because it is the purest set of chocolate you're going to get at a movie theater, and I feel like mixing anything else in to me just sounds like a weird mix, unless it's to your flavor taste, obviously.
Yeah, right. So like I'd be okay with putting it above a peanut butter M&Ms. I think that's fair. Yeah, and then I think if we were to put one more, we could either move chicken tenders up, or we could move the Reese's Pieces up to that tier. I mean, really, I could go either way. I mean, I think chicken tenders are actually pretty solid. So for me, I would tend to go more with that. But what do you guys think?
So I love chicken tenders. Like I'm a huge chicken tender fan. Like it's funny. Like me and my wife will go out to eat, and like 9 times out of 10, I'll get chicken tenders. I've never had chicken tenders at a movie theater. Are they kind of are they a fritter or more like a lightly breaded with lots of chicken? That makes a world difference to me.
It depends on where you're getting them from, honestly. I would say
I say more like a fritter almost. Like
Yeah. If we're talking if we're averaging it out, probably a fritter.
So a heavier breading,
Yeah.
less chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're
Well, if it's
if we're
that way,
averaging it-
then I would probably put it at the top of A, but it would not quite make the end of S tier for me. I love chicken tenders, but I prefer like.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say,
But that's saying something because I love chicken tenders.
since we're all in agreement that nothing else is being added, as the only person who's never been on the show before, can I make a concession piece for that last spot?
Absolutely, man. Go for it.
All right, let's end the competition between the two. Let's make it a top 11 and put Twizzlers and Red Vines in there and call it a day.
Okay.
Since you both love them so much.
That sounds
I'm good with that.
Let's do a special episode. Yeah, absolutely.
Just have it a licorice tie.
Yes.
I think
And
they're
that right in front.
Yep.
Right in front.
Because I
Twizzlers.
don't love either. Jordan seems to be between the two, and you each have one you love.
In
so.
front.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Like I'd probably actually end up going with Twizzlers in the end. I just think because like you just have like more of like a
That hurts.
like,
My feelings are done.
not-
I don't think I can do this anymore.
But I do like red vines. Like,
know that I'm gonna be able to ever do this again.
so like if you had me and the other, I'd eat them both at the same time, bro. Like,
See, and
like
Twizzlers has the better black licorice option. Is there a black vine? I don't even know if there is.
Yeah, there
There's
is.
a trash can behind my store where you'll find lots of Twizzlers for you tomorrow. Scooter. I'm working at 11:30, so you'll find them all there. Okay,
Yeah.
I've bought up the whole shelf and put them back there in the trash for you.
I should
Right.
get a bag free after how hard I've had to work for him tonight.
Right? Yeah, because like
Hey, extra, double, in fact, actually.
I think Twizzler definitely has a lot more variety. You have cherry, you have strawberry, you even have chocolate Twizzlers. If you ever had those, I actually love
Chocolate Twizzlers is so gross.
Yeah,
That's
No,
They're like the
amazing.
wannabe chocolates.
Yeah.
but you got the pull and peel kind, and
Yeah,
Yeah, you
there's
I
like,
do love the pull and peel, and I love the little nibs. The nibbler
there's
things
like-
are
there's
bomb.
yeah,
berry flavored. We've seen watermelon flavored.
Okay,
Right.
watermelon flavored would like change my life. Okay,
Yeah,
but
you're
like if we're talking like the best, like, but obviously they don't sell it there. But the Aussie
No.
licorice is the best licorice in the whole wide world.
oh yeah, that's good stuff.
oh yeah, it is good. That is really good.
It's
Never heard
but-
of it, so.
But I do feel like the red vines are the more classic licorice. Like I would bet money on it that red vines were probably invented way before Twizzlers. But
now I'm curious. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like I just feel like they're like the more classic thing. Like if you look at like old movie theater ads, which they have all over YouTube, because I did research for the intro, that they usually show red vines. I feel like.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it, but I could be wrong.
1950s. Oh, which came first?
Yeah. You look
Twizzlers'
it up.
origins can be traced to New York's in 1845.
Yeah.
Really? Ooh, man.
Yeah.
So I was wrong about that. Dang.
So
Yeah. See,
the
I
American
can't.
Licorice Company. Sorry, continue. Read.
No.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say you have the Twizzlers. I can't find an actual foundation date for red vines, but what I'm finding is in 1952 they switched their formula to what we know today. Originally it was more raspberry flavored,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
but I couldn't
So
find an
there-
actual founding date.
So there you go. I think any way you look at it, really Twizzlers wins. So just
Yep.
saying.
Right. Yep. Sorry. but yeah, I think we have a solid top 10/11. So usually at the end of the show, we kind of just go through the rundown of the top 10. Do you want to do it, Chris?
Absolutely.
All right.
Popcorn. Best snack in the world, of course. Is okay. And
Yep.
pop or soda.
Where you're from, yeah.
Cookie dough bites. Regular M&Ms. Bunch of crunch. peanut butter M&Ms, Twix, Mott Sticks, Starburst, Twizzlers, and Red Vines.
Nice.
Although in this version, Red Vines is actually ahead of Twizzlers, so it goes Red Vines and then Twizzlers. In my mind. Okay.
Yep.
And then the bottom list.
All right, boys. We'll stop the camera, whip them out, and let's solve this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. But for me, so I run the Showdown Friends and Family group, and usually what I do after every tier ranker fight is I take the top 10, and then usually I'll have some honorable mentions just to maybe throw a curveball in there. So I'm going to take the top 11 plus the top 2 from A. So we got chicken tenders and Reese's Pieces. I'll throw those in there, and then I'm going to put it to a vote over in the group, and just for fun, just see what the fans think, what the general consensus is. So you can look for that tomorrow. It'll probably be up. So, but yeah, but this has been a lot of fun. So.
Bottom list.
Oh yeah, sometimes we'll just mention the worst one, the worst of the worst. So down here at the bottom of
water.
We have water,
Coffee.
which kind of like Aaron said, we're not really like some people don't drink water. Like water is good for you, but
don't pay overprices in movie theaters.
Right.
Especially if it's
definitely.
Dasani water. No.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
gross.
Just take a drink out of the drinking fountain.
Yeah, right.
Or out of the hose and back.
Yeah.
Don't get Dasani water, because I actually got this from Christian Harloff. He actually was the first one I heard point out that they actually had salt to it. So Dasani water makes you more thirsty, so it makes you want to keep drinking. So that's kind of interesting fact. But yeah, so we have water, we have coffee, and then in the D tier we have Good and Plenty and Juji Fruits, Almond Joy, and Charleston Chew. And there's a debate to maybe throw the Cheetos popcorn down there, maybe. But.
Cheetos popcorn at the bottom of the list before we close.
But I'm gonna leave it there for now. But yeah, I'm just gonna go around the horn and just see where we can find you guys. So we'll start with Aaron. Where can the people find you?
All right, let me stretch out before I get all this in. So you guys can find me over on TMG Entertainment. Thank you guys for having me on. Jordan, you've been on After Dark, and thank you for having me on. This is a lot of fun. Sure. I'd love to come back and do this. This is actually a really unique idea for a show. I love when I can compliment that to people, the uniqueness behind a show. I like this. This was a lot of fun. Over on TMG Entertainment, we have all sorts of content going up every day. We've just recently started doing trailer reactions and reviews, myself and the man who owns the channel, Matt Beer. So check those out. We also have After Dark, our hangout show on Saturday nights. We have Schmo Talks, which is my Schmodown interview style show on Mondays. We have a politics show that's still untitled that goes up on Tuesdays. We have 2 on hiatus sports shows, Inside the Horseshoe for football and Suplex City Chats for wrestling, that will be back as soon as we possibly can. And now on Friday nights, just before these guys go live at 8 o'clock, we will be doing reviews of all the latest streaming shows. Our first one went up tonight, recapping WandaVision, and in 2 weeks we start again with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, so he's got a full schedule going on over there, so nice.
We'll try.
But Scooter, where can we find you at?
I am exclusive to this show. This is where I devote all my energy, and you can find me right here in my house. I'm always here.
And what was the address, real quick?
Right. Somewhere in Idaho, we got that.
Somewhere in Idaho.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
I'm Irish, so we actually have potatoes in common.
There you go. And then Chris, where can the people find you? Usually when Chris comes up, I like to throw up the little banner here. We actually do have a banner with all of our like social media and whatnot. But where can the people find you?
So Twitter at writer _84, Instagram C Scott 1128, and I think those are the key spots you can find me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you can find me all over Movie Hero Network. So we do tier ranker fights usually on Fridays and Saturdays. It's a little subject to change, but I do want to make a little bit of an announcement here. This is the first time that I'm announcing it here, but so next week we're gonna have a pretty big show. So we're gonna be doing best and worst movie villains, and we're actually gonna have Video Drew on. We're gonna have Adam Witt, and then possibly an appearance by Kaiser. He said he's gonna get back to me. He's working kind of late, so he's not sure if he'll be able to make it. But fingers crossed for that one. So that'll be fun. And then we have a show called Blind Spots that's kind of been put on the back burner a little bit recently because we've been so freaking busy.
Right.
But I mean, me and Chris, we promised that we're finally going to get to it, but we're going to be doing a review on the movie Taxi Driver because for Blind Spots is basically as the title says, I just find movies that are my blind spot. Usually, all the people in the Showdown Friends and Family group vote on what they think I should watch. So they voted for Taxi Driver. We're going to be doing a review on that coming up here soon. We'll definitely announce that on our social media. And then we have another series that's called 1v200. That's an interview show where we basically just do a deep dive into people's lives that are important to me. So I've done most of my family, some of my friends. I've had Chris on it as a guest. Chris even put me in the hot seat too.
Spot,
So we did that interview, and then eventually I want to move to people in the community. So if there's anyone that's out there maybe watching that you want to be on a cool, fun interview show where we get to take a little bit of a fun deep dive into your life, then definitely hit me up because I'm definitely open to having guests on for sure.
Nudge.
And then
Aaron needs to be on there. Nudge, nudge, nudge.
God.
yeah, for sure.
Nudge.
Oh
If you want to do it,
Yes.
definitely up to it.
Oh,
Hilarious, dude. You need to be on there.
200 questions to grill into my life. That's the last thing I need.
right.
They're funny. They're kind of quirky. They're not all like.
No, I figured.
What was your first thoughts about cats?
Yeah, right.
And he
right.
jumped. Okay.
But and then also like I said, I run the Schmodown Friends and Family group. So if you ever want to get on and talk Schmodown, we definitely do it over there. We just had a big match tonight that was Jeff Schneider versus Dan Murrell, which is huge. So we'll definitely be talking about that here soon. Once we usually I like to give it at least the weekend for spoilers before we really get too deep into it, and so we got that going, and then if you ever have something you want to self promote, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have any project that you're working on, that's a perfect spot. We always allow self promotion, so promote to your heart's content over in Showdown Friends and Family. So that's basically where you can find me. So yeah, this has
And
been.
of course, I help with that
fun.
group. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like Chris
Right.
Scott, he's one of the admins over there. So like he's definitely all over the group as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so for Aaron, for Scooter, for Chris Casablanca Kid, I've been Jordan Snack Hero Anderson for this episode, and this has been Tier Ranker Fights. We'll see you next week.